that he still has enough juice in the tank to attack on the offensive end, which has really been the big surprise. There's been a big jump in his offense this year, folks. I tell you, he let you know that in that Game 7 in the bubble against the Rockets last season down in Orlando, in which he dropped 30.
Well, to Nick's point, the defense is there every single night. 5 more steals.
Nagalap shoutout.
And you got to think that the Thunder have the Bulls' attention as Levine charges. Porter, 3, just when Chicago needed it. As the Thunder had gotten it down to single digits. And Dort comes right back, and how about that? Takes the bump off Williams and banks it in.
Well, he's just playing ball, man. The hurry-up offense. We talked about playing with a little bit more pace. That's going to be an offensive foul on Zach Levine.
Who's in the middle of it? Lou Dort, who is single-handedly disrupting Chicago here. There wasn't much there. Dort might have sold that.
Is it possible to be a menace on both ends as he is right now? I mean, folks, he is just putting a stamp in the third quarter right now with what he's doing on both ends of the floor.
Well, Thunder, another opportunity here to get it down to single digits. 5 minutes to go. Made a lot of way here in the third as Hill trying to get downhill. Ball swung around. Dort, another 3, and he's got it. And Lou Dort erupting here, and particularly on offense. His 4th 3 of the night. And the Thunder certainly have the Bulls' attention now. As Dort's got the last 10. White trying to turn the corner. And that'll be a foul on Kenrich Williams. And Mike, you brought up a point that Billy Donovan, when there was about 8 minutes to go in this third quarter, called a timeout when Chicago was comfortably up and might have burned the Bulls' momentum.
They were going to start a fast break, and it just seemed like the gong went off for the Thunder after that. Mainly Lou Dort. That's him, folks. Number 5 in white. He has been fantastic here as you see his numbers, partner.
Well, single-handedly igniting this Thunder climb back here is White. Goes 2 for 2 at the free throw line.
What's happened also, now the Bulls are playing with a little bit of pressure on them. They haven't had a whole lot of pressure on them in this. Well, it all started in the second quarter late.
Well, a 9-point game is much more mentally manageable as SGA plays through the contact, banks it in on the foul. That is Thaddeus Young, the suspect. And a possibility for a 3-point play as the Thunder chipping away at the Chicago lead.
This is signature shade. Just snaking his way through the defense, always taking contact, never afraid of it, and finds a way to get a shot up. I mean, most guys in that situation, it's a turnover. You take that kind of contact. Thaddeus Young's a pretty good defensive player. Always have been throughout his career. He's hard to trick on a play like that.
And before you know it, it's a 6-point game. Just like that, Levine outside. Temple gives it right back to him. As Levine continues to try to create, and Porter short on that 3. Here's Hamidou Diallo leaking out. Can he finish at the rim? And he will. As the Thunder yet again in transition have trimmed it down to 4.
And right now, the Bulls are in shock in the last 4 minutes here.
A 22-5 run. And Thaddeus Young fouled on his way up by Isaiah Roby, who disagrees with the call. And you can see as Young is going to the free throw line, the Thunder have just evaporated this big Chicago lead. And yet again, a transition opportunity that leads to a deuce. Thunder basketball is brought to you by Enable Midstream Partners, a partner of success, and by your Oklahoma Ford dealers. Ford is the best in Oklahoma.
Well, we talked speeding this game up, and that's been the big difference so far with the Thunder. As Thaddeus Young uncharacteristically misses both free throws. Thunder would gladly take that to possibly bring us to a single-digit game.
And SGA bisects the lane. A parting of the seas as he just completely breaks down, busting through the seams of that Chicago defense.
And what they've done, they've really shaken the defensive foundation of the Bulls. They weren't getting those kind of layups uncontested in the early part of this quarter.
From 22 down to 2. Temple, corner 3, off. Levine swatted away by Roby, but a foul. So the Thunder able to force the initial miss. And Levine trying to slow down this avalanche of a run by the Thunder as the assault waves continue.
I'm not sure who that foul was on. I hope it wasn't on Isaiah Roby. Because, man, he had a clean block up top as the Bulls right now are stunned by what the Thunder have been able to do in this third quarter in a short period of time, folks.
This was a big Chicago lead when Billy Donovan called that timeout that you alluded to, Mike. Called a timeout in transition when the Bulls were in complete command. As Levine hits the 2 free throws. And with 3 minutes to go, there is so much time left in this third quarter. Is Dort, can he get another one? It was on target, but short. Still got to slow down Levine here on the defensive end. Porter slashing and scores. So Otto Porter Jr. off the bench. Now with 8. Defense as Dort sends it back out to the perimeter. SGA double teamed. Dort lines it up. We're still 4 out of 8 from 3. This is where you got to stay connected. Chicago was rattled, and that'll be a traveling on Thaddeus Young.
And give Dort credit. Thaddeus Young, he's given up about 5, maybe 6 inches. Just held his ground. I mean, the guy is built like a fire hydrant, man. You're not going to move him. And it kind of stunned Thaddeus Young for a second. There's that little bunny hop.
I would assume that when you're a big man like that and you get a shorter player on you, that it probably throws you off a little bit.
It does. And you start licking your chops too soon. You got to lick your chops while you make that play. How about that move by Shea? My goodness.
And Pokusevski lines up the 3.
My goodness.
What a move by Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. Shaking Zach LaVine and then finding the open man. And it was Pokusevski. As you see, for the points off turnovers, the Thunder have been feasting on the Bulls here in the third. And Pokusevski picking a good time to hit that 3 as Mark Daigneault is going to go to his bench. Stuck with his starters a little longer, Mike, in that third quarter with the run that was being made. So with 2 and change left, Lou Dort's going to get a break. Well deserved, as he single-handedly led the charge, and that'll be a blocking foul. The Thunder in the penalty, I should say, will put Zach LaVine at the free throw line. So a little over anxious there on the defensive side. LaVine, who is automatic at the free throw line. Despite missing a tee earlier, we'll get 2 here. The January fan box is here for the loud authentic Thunder gear and delivered strip fans. That's the second free throw he's missed here tonight. Very rare.
Actually, he missed both free throws.
Both.
You won't see that very often.
SGA kick out Pokusevski. He frozen rope 3. One possession game. How about the Thunder, who have mounted just an incredible comeback here in the stronger offensive rebounding, setting up Pokusevski on that 3. For the call 2 free throws as he took a bump. He much like Carter Jr.
Well, just kind of taking him out of the offense for the Bulls. I'm talking Zach LaVine. It's rare you see him miss 2 free throws as he did his last trip to the line. But he was shaping up to just, have one of those I'm in the zone moments. And the Thunder found a way to get the basketball out of his hand, found a way to come up with some consistent offense by pushing the pace of this game. We talked about that, just running the Bulls. And it's really created problems for the Bulls. They had Thaddeus Young trying to play small ball at the 5 spot. Now they have Wendell Carter Jr. back in the ball game.
Pokusevski got away with the travel as Maladone around the screen. Outside Diallo trying to penetrate. Instead pulls up. Jumper. Can't get the bounce.
The Thunder, just hold on to where you're at right now.
White.
Continue to attack.
Pushed out a little bit short. Might have pulled the string. And back and forth we go here in Oklahoma City. Paisley, little jab step, trying to size up Carter. Now sets the screen for Maladone as he lines it up. All of a sudden, things have gone quiet here with under a minute to go.
And it's getting quiet for the Bulls, too. So it hasn't really been a whole lot of damage on the
three. And short. Maladone still trying to get one to go, and that time he does. Able to answer back with a three.
And that's what you call a pass assist from Hami. He drew in because they know he wants to drive hard to the basket, collapse the Bulls defense, and kick it out to Maladone. He had plenty of time to line that one up.
White, the step back three, and the Bulls have another one with 0.1 seconds left. As Chicago just cannot miss from behind the arc. But not to be lost is the incredible pushback by Oklahoma City, refusing to go away in the third quarter despite a 22-point deficit. Lou Dort, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and the Thunder within striking distance going into the fourth.
The fighting spirit is one we all share. It's why Amanda Nunes.
Take time to make time, baby. That's the fine life. No. Make time to take time. Either way, you'll find La Vida Más Fina.
This holiday at T-Mobile, get an iPhone 12 with 5G on us on every single plan. Switch now and save 20% on your bill versus the other guys. That's right, iPhone 12 on us. It's time to holiday on with T-Mobile.
collection, the t-shirt, hat, and more. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience.
We just won a $100 Sonic gift card on that SGA two-handed stuff. One of the few clean looks that he's had on the night. The Thunder battling here in the early parts of the fourth quarter with the offense going quiet. Alexander right above his season average. 21 points, an efficient 8 out of 11. You see him getting everybody else involved with those 7 assists, but that last possession felt like a real tough one for the Thunder, Mike, because the Thunder kept forcing misses, and Chicago kept getting offensive rebounds, and it ultimately led to a three-pointer by Lauri Markkanen. And the Thunder trying to get some of it back there is Baisley fighting through traffic. He'll get a chance at a three-point play.
Well, he said, Bulls, you might be shooting a three. I'm going to get more of a traditional three-point shot.
Kapag naalala ko ang mga araw naman kasama tayong dalawa, ngiti at tuwa sa aking mga mata. Ganun na pala tayo dati kasayahan. Yung tipong kapag tayo nagkatitigan, mangingitian para bang nahihibang. Mag-iingay kahit sobrang tahimik ang kapaligiran. Kahit may nagre-reklamo na'y wala tayong pakialam. Panahon nandun ka pa, laging pumupunta. Di naasahan may sorpresa ka laging dala. Ang saya-saya, ayoko lang pahalata.
3 minutes in, Muscala eyes the three. Well, the Thunder have gone quiet here in the early part of the fourth quarter.
But there's a lot of time left, but there's little things you have to clean up. And right now it's that offensive rebounding. The three-point shot is not so much of an issue as it's just given the Bulls too many looks.
Finally, Muscala securing the board. The Thunder have exerted so much effort to get back into this game. At one point, we're trailing by 22, but have fought back, got it down to 2 in that third quarter. And here comes Zach LaVine, and immediately as LaVine comes in, so does Lou Dort. We saw as soon as LaVine popped off the bench, so did Lou Dort, and that's clearly the matchup that Mark Daignault wants.
And he's been physical with him and any player that he's had to defend all night, and he only has 2 fouls. So showing a lot of discipline and skills while guarding some of the top scorers that come into this building.
Well, this is something to monitor here. That is already the 14th foul tagged to Chicago. Thunder don't have any with 8:26 left to go in the fourth. So every foul from here will put Oklahoma City at the free throw line. There's SGA probing. Oh, my goodness. What a scoop and score from Shai Alexander. There might not be anybody better in the NBA who does it with both hands, finishing around the rim.
You just don't know when he's going to score. And here's another turnover. LaVine gets the ball poked away. None other than who picks it up? Lou Dort.
Thunder with 24 points off turnovers. SGA again. This time he's got a lane to the rim. And he'll finish with the right hand left side. And you see the emotion from Shai Alexander not wanting to go away for the Thunder here in the fourth quarter.
Well, sometimes you can run a play, and sometimes you just give the ball to a guy and say, hey, do what you do best and make something happen. Folks, he's making lemon out of lemonades. That guy right there, number 2 in white. Has this game real close. A lot of time left, folks.
Take time to make time, baby. That's the fine life. No. Make time to take time. Either way, you'll find La Vida Más Fina.
My pleasure, Captain.
Oh, so we're
We're both captains.
We are in this ride.
Okay.
I'm David Collado, president and co-owner of Happy Howie's Dog Treats. We make all natural dog treats, and we're growing really fast.
So he is working hard. He's working harder than a blind dog in a butcher shop.
Sometimes that's how hard he's got to search for his shots.
He is working. And how about the guy, Dort there, forcing Levine to give up the ball?
Well, you got to think at some point the Bulls are going to start missing from three. Not on that possession. And you saw the defense collapse on Zach Levine, forced the pass out to the perimeter of the rookie, who made the Thunder pay, and Baisley can't respond on that drive. But it is just remarkable how well Chicago has shot the basketball tonight as Valentine gets underneath the free throw line. And that is 5 immediate points for Chicago to push the lead out of that timeout. Baisley has been trying to get the better of Markkanen all night. Baisley's been struggling coming back from that sprained ankle, and you can see him just kind of put his hand on his head there. Is it to say that he knows about the mistake that he made? And
well, I think sometimes he's trying to force the action too much instead of just reading it. And Markkanen is not, he's not no master defensive player. Just kind of take your time, gather yourself, let him make the mistake.
I think that's a good point, Mike. It seems like he is forcing it a little bit as opposed to reading the defense, kind of executing the decision-making process as White short on the three.
It's a nice closeout, too, contesting those threes. I tell you, those uncontested threes, man, they catch up to you after a while.
Well, Shai-Gilgeous-Alexander defended by Kobe White. White is not known for his defense. As Hill steps into it, Kobe couldn't swat it back out for a fresh 14. And so the Thunder now trailing by 11. Levine stripped. They're going to call a foul. Yep. There's a foul on Isaiah Roby. So these last couple of minutes not quite as fruitful. And then Chicago increased its lead. Those 2 quick buckets out of the timeout to create a little space. Now Levine an opportunity to add to it at the free throw line. Download the official Thunder app, powered by OU Health. Get real-time game stats on the go. Personalize your notifications. Watch behind-the-scenes interviews and more. All access all the time. Download the official Thunder app today. And you knew he wasn't going to go for 2 that time.
No, not at all. And he's such a terrific scorer. I mean, you can't ever fall asleep on him. He is what you call a streaky shooter that can get it going at any time.
Baisley again trying to attack, forced it up on Markkanen. And Darius Baisley's having a tough night, 3 out of 12, and he came in struggling. So he might be trying to force his offense a little bit. But the Bulls have made 7 in a row here, and it'll be a 9-0 run. So we saw Billy Donovan call a timeout in the third quarter that backfired. But he called a timeout here in the fourth quarter when the Thunder got it down to 6, and it's been nothing but Bulls since. Nice pass underneath, and it'll be a slam for Isaiah Roby. Nobody there. So an easy flush for him.
And I'm plenty of time left in this ball game, partner, but those are the kind of plays you want to make right there. Just, under a jump stop, finding an open guy, collapse the defense, draw a second defender in. And that's off of his foot.
Roby, can he track it down with Markkanen? They chase after it, and we're going to get a backcourt violation and another Chicago turnover, the 18th of the night. As that just went off of Patrick Williams' foot, I believe. Yep, with his right foot. Well, that was actually touched by Roby first.
I didn't see that. Did you see it?
And it's Roby. Oh, he can't finish off the beautiful dish from Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That was a layup.
That's one of those plays you got to go up over the top. Sometimes you can finesse the ball in a play like that. With Markkanen, he's not a dunker. A shot blocker, excuse me, folks. Just go up and dunk that.
White drive, kick, Levine 3, and he's got another one.
And that's a 5-point turnaround right there. As Levine, he's just surgically waiting for his moments.
17 threes the last 2 games. And this time, Roby will finish it off as he flushes it home.
See what the difference? Yeah.
Good call.
Finesse versus power. That's sending the message. And I know he's young. Okay, this is basically his rookie year. Didn't play at all last year, folks. Got the call tonight in the absence of Al Horford. How about this? He's already in double figures with 14 now.
There's a nice intercept. Kenrich Williams, nothing but air, and he will slam it home. So the Thunder with 28 points off turnovers, and not even that is enough because of the shooting display of that man, Zach LaVine.
And one thing the Bulls will do is turn the basketball over. They lead the NBA in turning the basketball over, and now you're converting.
Well, the Thunder need offense and quick as SGA cans a 3. His third of the night, 28 for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Well, you're only down 9. Now you got to start thinking about getting stops.
LaVine fires it down to the baseline to Williams. That should be an offensive foul, and it's Roby stepping in and taking the body shot.
He took one for the team, too. That's a big-time charge at this point in the game. Just held his ground. How about this? SGA is saying, look, man, it ain't over till it's over. Just continue to wheel his team back into the ball game. He tonight and Lou Dort have been outstanding.
Well, a Thunder bucket here would make Chicago certainly think about it with plenty of time left. So what Hill decides to do here is he's got the mismatch on Carter. Trying to split the double. Got to the rim, and Carter got the best of him that time, using that length. Thunder get it back defensively. As this game condenses down at the 3-minute mark. Where the Thunder fight has been there all night. Despite Chicago's shot making, White completely out of control. It's loose on the ground. Bodies flying, and we're going to get a timeout called by the Bulls. Thunder were hoping for the jump ball, but still Chicago retains possession with 1.3 seconds on the shot clock. And that's what the Bulls will have to confront as with 2:48 left to go. It's the previous possession as White flails up that shot. And the Thunder, who had a hard time grabbing loose balls off of Chicago, misses tonight. And White was granted that timeout. And that'll give us a chance to take a look at tonight's OG&E power play of the game, and that is Lou Dort, who single-handedly, Mike, ignited a third-quarter run for the Thunder on both ends. It started with a 3 as he found his stroke, and then on the defensive side came up with a couple of big plays.
Well, you're right, partner, and he's playing on both sides of the floor, folks. The offense is there, the 4 made threes, and that's tough to do to read what Zach LaVine is going to do. Here, the mismatch. I mean, just doing everything right. It had a lot to do by the The Bulls in that third quarter had 9 turnovers, gave up 19 points. And he was just all over the place.
He had his own 10-0 run. And we've seen really the ability of Lou Dort to make such a difference in games. We saw it in that Game 7 last year against the Houston Rockets. 15 of his 19 coming in the third quarter. And so quite the burst. All right, so Chicago with 1.3 seconds on the timer with the inbounds play here from Otto Porter. Ideally would like to get it into Levine. There is Carter, put it up, and the Thunder foul. Isaiah Roby trying to front that pass. Carter caught it midair. And Isaiah Roby commits the foul.
Yeah, he kind of got lost and had his back to the ball. And that made it very easy for them to throw that lob pass from out of bounds.
And so Roby getting the start tonight for Al Horford. Fouls out as Carter Jr. misses a big free throw. Every point making a difference. As you see Roby frustrated, but nonetheless still a productive night for the second-year player out of Nebraska. An efficient 6 out of 12. 4 rebounds. One more free throw here for Carter as he goes 1 out of 2. Thunder need offense and quickly. Not a lot of possessions left. Have to capitalize on every single one of them as SGA got caught deep. Ball swings around to Dort. Defended closely there by Levine. Now trying to turn the corner. Floats, hangs, and gets the bounce on the drive. Where Levine was hanging all over him.
You're down 8 now. Now all you got to do is just get some stops here. Put in the time to go in this game, folks, by NBA standards.
Dort fights over the screen, but it's SGA now. As Levine, and that's a layup line for Zach Levine. You got to honor the drive, but he'll shoot right over the top, and he's now got 31. SGA, the drive, the kick. Muscala got the flyby. Dort will take it himself, and Hill, the offensive rebound.
How did he come up with that rebound? Shortest guy on the floor.
It's Muscala. That catch fire 3, but we get a foul from Carter, and it'll be 3 free throws for Muscala. And that's exactly what the Thunder needed. As Carter Jr. on the closeout got the release hand of Muscala. It was a graze, but just enough, according to the official.
And he knew he did it. He didn't really say that much other than protesting initially. But on the replay, Thunder will gladly take this, okay, for 3 reasons. 3 free throws with the clock not running. So now you got to just think about the defensive end now. You can't keep trading buckets, as you just mentioned, with a $1:47 to go here in this fourth quarter. This has been a terrific second half of basketball for the Thunder. Just doing everything right. Everybody chipping in.
One more free throw for Muscala as the Thunder fighting here to the finish as Muscala connects on all 3 free throws. And for the Bulls, a 7-point lead with 1:43 left. Ball has been in Levine's hands. Dort trying to obstruct the offense here of Chicago. Marking in Levine, little 2-person game out on the perimeter. As Levine off the deck. A rare miss for him and the Bulls on the night. And the Thunder can inch a little bit closer here. Bulls in transition as SGA underneath, and the reverse layup is good.
And you get a stop. And now you're talking about just a what? 5-point game.
Plenty of time left. Thunder back on the defensive end as Williams in his tenacity trying to defend Levine out of the perimeter. Levine missed his last 3. Crosses up. Ball is loose. Dort dives for it. He's got it. Still trying to call timeout. And the Thunder get the turnover and timeout. As Lou Dort, they always say, first one on the deck's going to get the ball. And he laid out another Bulls turnover, the 21st. And Lou Dort earns the Thunder another possession. We'll step aside here in the 4th. And it's time for tonight's Thunder Player of the Game, brought to you by Riverwind Casino. And how about Lou Dort, the latest steal, one of the more impressive steals on the season, adding to his career high with the Thunder out of the timeout. Nice play! Beautiful dish. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander slam of Kenrich Williams, and we got a one-possession game here in OKC with 49.7 seconds left. And that's going to be an offensive foul.
That time Kobe White was still moving and just kind of blindsided Lou Dort on that out of bounds. We talk about a more perfect situation to present itself.
As Dort got chipped on that screen, and he has been in the action all over the floor tonight in the second half. And the Thunder on a 16-3 run. One bucket away from tying. Dort, catch fire three on the way. And a battle for it, and it's still a one-possession game, but the Thunder got to play defense. And Zach LaVine into the front court. Williams defending initially, fights over the screen, and they're going to call an offensive foul.
That time, Larkin took a piece of Kendrick on that play. He kind of almost didn't want the whistle to blow because guess who, with 6 steals on the night, Lou Dort would have had his 7th one. And the issue with that is that Larkin wasn't stationary.
And the Thunder will get another opportunity here, down by 3. We're in some beautiful action on the previous possessions. SGA spins in the lane, hangs, counted and a foul! With 16.4. It's a 1-point game with Shea Gilgeous-Alexander at the line to tie it at 118.
And this is just great one-on-one basketball. I mean, just saying, look, I'm not going to give it up. It's crunch time. My team needs me to score a bucket. I'm going to give you a bucket.
Free throw is good, and the sheer refusal by Oklahoma City tonight to not go away. A 20-5 run in the third quarter, a 19-3 run here in the fourth quarter, and the Thunder trying to overcome 19 threes on the night from Chicago with 16.4 seconds, Mike, have come back and tied this game.
And it's coming off of just resilience, hard work, and confidence. That's a confident young man right there in crunch time.
And how about the offensive action, Mike? We saw the drive in the dish from Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and Kenrich Williams to get it down. And it's SGA through the contact, adding to what has been just a spectacular night offensively for him. 33 points, but he has dictated things on the offensive end for the Thunder to help get the Thunder back into it with some great offensive execution.
Well, your defense has been very solid in this second half, and it's going to come down to just one possession. But 16.4 seconds remaining in the ball game. You know they're going to put the ball in the hands of Zach LaVine. He's had it the last couple of trips down. Deny him the basketball. Take all four other guys away from Zach LaVine to do their job as well, too. Because what you're looking for right now is a stop.
It's a career-high 33 for Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, but the Thunder here with the shot clock off need to come up with a defensive stand as Chicago has shot the ball so well on the night. There's going to be Otto Porter to get it into Markkanen. Markkanen back up top to Kobe White. LaVine streaking across the baseline as the game clock is under 10. Porter, double teamed, has to get rid of it to LaVine. LaVine off the deck, ball fake, shot on the way, back iron no good, and we will head to overtime as the Thunder get that defensive stop. A smothering possession as LaVine did not get off the clean look.
That's just a gutsy defense. Stingy as you want to be when you need to be. Did not foul, stayed disciplined, and really put Zach LaVine in a tough situation. I thought they were going to try to get him the ball a lot sooner because he's so clever and creative off the dribble. Guess what? He gets the ball clearly under the gun, and the defense set.
Mike, it didn't look like LaVine was ready to get the ball at any point in that possession. He looked like a decoy, potentially, because when he did call for the ball right here, see, that he's not getting the ball until there's 4 seconds left, and it becomes a desperation time. He had to have been a decoy.
Yeah, but I don't understand that play because he got it too late. But if you're the Thunder, you're happy because you didn't allow him a free will to the basket because he's been so sensational tonight, folks. Zach LaVine, with
All
those
right.
31 points.
Quick break. Catch your breath. Overtime coming up. It's been thrilling here tonight.
Ganda ng laban. Pahabol pa yung Pelicans set ng kanina. Pelicans set ng pagula. Thunder. Habol pa. Point lead na yung Bulls na habol.
And this is the play that tied it. A 3-point play by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on a career night for him, 33, as he dictated the proceedings in the fourth quarter and in the second half, and so we go to overtime.
Well, they kept fighting, and that's why you hear it at overtime. That's a sizable deficit to come back from on such a good offensive team as the Bulls.
First overtime game for both teams on the year. Little stutter step. SGA got caught in the air, passes out to Hill. Looking for a screen. Fires it up to Muscala. Muscala defended by Markkanen. Someone's going to have to take a shot. Does Hill recognize? He does get it up, and it barely grazes the rim, and Karam's out of bounds.
And if you're the Thunder right now, you're in overtime. You put the pressure all on the Bulls now to try to win this ball game, especially when they were up 22 points in the second half. Your defense has been good. It's been solid, especially late in that fourth quarter to get those stops. Offense has been consistent as well, too.
Zach LaVine's still not coming to get the basketball. It's White. That'll be a screen. No free throws. That is on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
And just a couple of really solid performances by two players. Shai with those 33 for the Thunder, and LaVine with those 7 made threes and 31 for the Bulls.
Well, the Bulls have just been coughing up the basketball throughout this game. Little pick and dive action as Markkanen way short. Try to bank it in. That's not really his game. And here comes Oklahoma City. Minute in here to this overtime extra period. So Gilgeous-Alexander again. This time, defense draws toward him. Leaves Muscala open as he splashes home that three.
Wow.
And the Thunder have a rare lead, had a brief lead back in the second. As that's going to be an offensive foul as Williams sticking his nose down amongst the skyscrapers and draws the charge.
That's just a high IQ play. Knowing that he didn't want to try to foul White as he was driving to the basket, really not even seeing him. I tell you, that's a big basket there by Moose, just once again putting the Thunder ahead.
Boy, there is a rare miss from SGA on the night as the Thunder have been doing such a good job of getting into the lane, particularly SGA, as LaVine this time passes corner three, White, and the Bulls. This would be a good time for them to cool off from three-point land. They've been draining threes all night. Dort. What does he do here? He drives, dishes. Williams running into traffic. Trying to post up White. Gets inside and just shoots over the top of him. And the lead increases for Oklahoma City as the Bulls yet to score in overtime. As LaVine will get fouled as he bisects the lane.
And that was just a cool hand loop move by Kenrich on this play. Watch this. I know I got the size. Mouse in the house. Shoots right over the top. That was a big play.
That was a big play, too, because he recognized that the lane was congested, and just kind of patiently waited for it to clear out a little bit.
And he didn't force the shot. He just simply took what the defense was giving him. And Zach LaVine continues to miss, folks. That's 4 misses for him on the night. He's 4 of 8 from the line.
An excellent free throw shooter on the season, really throughout his career. Goes 1 out of 2, and that's the first score of overtime here for the Bulls. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander goes behind his back. Muscala has already ripped the cords on 1-3. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander stepped back too strong. Long rebound out to Muscala, and the Thunder get a fresh 14.
I tell you, those type of plays, they can break your heart. When you work real hard to force a long shot, if you're the Bulls, and they get the ball back and put you back on defense again in overtime. This is where fatigue and conditioning starts to become a factor.
Thunder want to apply the pressure here. SGA, shot clock under 3. Stutter step, drives, doesn't get it off in time, and that'll be a violation. Rare turnover for the Thunder. And Chicago will try to regroup here with 2:25 over the midway point of this overtime period. In what has just been a scintillating game, comeback here for the Thunder in the second half, as Oklahoma City, Mike, was struggling to find any kind of traction early in this third quarter. Billy Donovan called a timeout with about 8 minutes to go. It changed the whole trajectory of this game as the Thunder decided to clamp down and just start turning Chicago over right and left. The turnovers have been such a big part of this game. Chicago leads the NBA in turnovers. It was a big part of the second half, but Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, this was the final offensive play for the Thunder. That was a three-point play that tied the game at 118. Chicago had an opportunity to win it at the end. That was the final desperation play from Zach LaVine. And the Thunder have come out here and built a lead in overtime.
Well, your confidence is up now. You're starting to find, that center part of the rim with the basketball, and it's coming from different guys. Now certainly the game. Ball. Who's going to go to that young man? Shea Williams, hitting a big 2 inside, and then collectively, not the Bulls to get those easy this late in the ball game.
And that is a good point because the Thunder have made the adjustment, Mike. Those easy looks that Chicago is getting early in the game, just not there here of late, not there in the second half, as Porter will float it up, and it's Williams. Boy, what a rebound by Kenrich Williams, who has just been outstanding for the Thunder tonight on both ends. Has not missed the shot, playing 25 minutes. SGA got away with the travel, instead turns it over. So the Thunder can't add to what was a 4-point lead. As one. Not one, but 2 screens, and he's got himself a 3. T3 for Chicago. Something that the Thunder have been able to overcome thanks to Chicago's gratuity. As LaVine commits a foul. His third. Side out of bounds for Oklahoma City.
That's the Thunder right now. You need to score. You got to protect what you have. A lot of time here left. Mike gets another good look.
Another pop 3. And Wendell Carter skies for that rebound. 1-point game. White had the 3 on the previous possession. Now defended by Lou Dort. What a surprise. Again, Zach LaVine just not calling for the basketball. Camped down in the corner as Markkanen off. Empty trip for Chicago.
It looked like he wasn't ready to take that shot. Kind of got a little bit surprised by Kobe White passing it to him. Left it a little short.
Under a minute to go. SGA gives it up. Muscala again. This time he connects from downtown. And the lead for the Thunder pushed back up to 4. Some huge shots for Muscala here in overtime. Levine, outside Porter. He's off the mark from three. And who's there for the rebound? It is Muscala, who has been the man here in this extra period.
Now, if you're the Thunder right now, you don't need to take a shot until the shot gets down under. The clock gets under 5 seconds. Just use the clock. You got a 4-point lead, and you got the basketball. Looks like the Bulls are not going to try to foul. They don't really have to either.
Put a lot of difficulty on Chicago. And that is another violation, shot clock violation by the Thunder. The second one here in overtime. But Muscala with his second three of the extra period. And Chicago will call another timeout. The Thunder with a 4-point lead. 15 seconds left. One defensive stop away from overcoming what has been a tumultuous night at times. But, Mike, I am just stunned at how much Zach LaVine has not been involved, not only in the overtime, but really the last few possessions of regulation.
Now, you got to wonder, is it fatigue? Because, Lou Dort has been hanging over him all night, folks, like a cheap suit. And that last shot before the fourth quarter expired just looked like he just didn't have anything left in the tank. And he's been sensational up until that point. Now, if you're the Thunder right now, you're thinking, okay, we got a 4-point lead here. We got to hold on to what we got. We win this ball game if we get one stop here in this next 15.4 seconds.
Just keep doing what you've been doing in the fourth quarter and really in the second half, applying the pressure. Don't foul. Whatever Chicago decides to do, just make it difficult.
And make them use up a little time.
Yep.
You haven't given up any of those straight line drives to the basket. You've made it very difficult for Zach LaVine, Kobe White to get any good looks at the basket. I'll throw Maury Lockerton in there as well.
See if Chicago goes for the quick two or the three with 15 seconds left. Ball entered in, will foul.
That's a smart play. You had one to give. And now you know what they're trying to do. It's a high pick and roll to free up Kobe White to take another three because he hit one from that exact same spot moments ago.
Markkanen, the trigger man, has to get it in. Does so to Porter. Porter trying to go behind his back. Drives on SGA. I don't know if that was a shot or a pass outside LaVine, and he tees it up. And it's a 1-point game. And the pass entered into Hill, and that's who you want taking free throws if you're the Thunder. As Chicago is out of timeouts, you see LaVine gingerly walking back down the floor after he might have hurt his ankle after this shot. But the Thunder almost came up with the steal. Chicago so fortunate that steal would have ended the game. And LaVine in the back pedal just rolled the ankle.
And that's the easiest look that LaVine's had this entire second half, right there. And there was still a little pressure on him.
Well, 2 free throws here for George Hill to try to push it back up to a 3-point game. And that first one misses. And time for Chicago as Hill himself has 2 misses at the free throw line as Billy Donovan trying to bring in as much offense as possible.
Now, keep in mind, the Bulls have no timeout. They have to take that ball out and get going right away. Now, the miss by Hill changes everything because a 2-pointer ties the ball game. 3 wins it for him.
Second free throw by Hill is good.
I'm assuming that he was going to make that too, folks.
Got a screen, 3 straight away, and he missed it wide left. And the Thunder complete the comeback after trailing by 22 and winning in overtime, 127-125.
And what is there to not love about what you just saw, folks? Everybody chipping in, the resilience, the fight. You're down 22, as you just mentioned, partner. But that third quarter, Lou Dort gets the game ball. Shea gets a game ball. But in the end, it was a collective effort that took down the Bulls in overtime. And look at it. Zach LaVine. He runs it to his zone. That kind of threw him off. And he just didn't get squared up because his momentum was still throwing him one way. He's such a terrific player, still able to get a shot off and draw iron. A little bit upset there at his own team. In overtime for the Thunder, first win at home.
Fight to the finish. Back all the way.
Yeah, it felt good.
Ikaw lang ang lalaking lagi kong iniisip. Dalaga sa pagtulog at sa aking panaginip. Mahal kita, ano man ang ganilang sabihin. Sa'yo lamang iaalay ang tunay ko na pag-ibig.
That chick's so the best, she's so sexy. And I asked her what's her name, she said Lexi. Nag-usap kami sandali, she wanna love me, she wanna love me.
Di ko mapigilan na lingunin. Chick na malupetan, katuon na parang gusto kong sumama sa kanya kahit na di ko kilala.
Dito tayo sa dilim, yung walang may kita. Buksan mo ng palihim, meron yung sorpresa. Magkasanamaan di ako pideya. Habang walang nakatingin, samantalahin natin ang gabi.
Sa'yo lang naman nakaganto, nabuo yung durog na puso ko. Lahat binago mo, lahat ng sa'kin, baby.
Neneng B, ako ang iyong boy pick up. Can I see you? Anong oras ba ang meet up? Uling ka ba? Kasi kanina sa'kin nagbabaga ka.
Si spaceship, isasakay kita. Lahat ng kailangan naging dala-dala. Safe ko pagkasama, huwag ka magtaka. Hindi ka magdududa, walang baka-baka. Parang tinigbi ang kanyang katawan. Ang sarap mong titigan. Rosas ka ba?
Gian Manangan sa Sulodi Emerson Ilaga sa Sulodi. Like you.
Parang tinigbi ang kanyang katawan. Ang sarap mong titigan. Rosas ka ba? Kasi sa spaceship isasakay kita.
Shot clock at 5. Davis against Josh Hart. Davis goes to his left. Sweet spin. No bucket, but a foul is called on Hart. He can't believe it. That's the first on Hart. Davis will shoot 2.
Hart is telling his coach, Stan Van Gundy, I didn't touch him. We have the luxury of seeing a replay, so we can give out expert advice. He goes into him.
Yeah, contact at the end, right? Got to let the shooter land. It's at the last second here.
And the thing is where Josh Hart jumped and where he landed. He landed towards Anthony Davis, so that's contact and clearly a foul.
Meanwhile, Davis 1 of 3 at the line, 2 of 8 from the floor. Let's take another look here. Lakers as a team just 2 of 6 at the line. Has not been a good quarter offensively for LA, and defensively they're giving up 28 points. Davis gets the second one. Here's Bledsoe at 3. 1 to go in the quarter. And Bledsoe stepped on the sideline, turned it over. 0.1, so no chance to get a shot off for the Lakers. And despite the fact they did not shoot the ball well, they're only down 8 because of the turnovers by the Pelicans in that first quarter.
Another beer or something different?
How about this super filling IPA?
Ang pagkalayo natin, baby mag-ingat ka dyan sa atin. Sa aking balik, yakap at halik, ibabawiin natin. Kailangan ka, alam mo naman talaga na kailangan ka. Katulad mo'y matagal kong hinahanap ka. Gusto kong makita, yeah. Gusto kong makita, isang lalagang Pilipina, yan. Diyan ka na naman, di ko maiwasan tumingin sa iyong liwanag. Nadarama na naman sa iyong apoy. Bakit palagi hinahayaan? May lakad ka ba mamaya? Pwede ka ba makasama sa paggagala? Kung sakaling di ka pwede sa bagay, meron din akong ginagawa. Siguro nga napapaisip ka, ba't ako nangangamusta? Ilang araw ka na naroon sa panaginip ko, nag-aalala lang ako baka saan ka mapunta. Pero mukhang ayos ka naman, di na kita abalahin pa. Ilang naman namin pa ba ang dapat para patago kang mag-alala sa'kin? Habang pinapantasya, lamang nila ay maskara mo sa gabi at itaka mo sa umaga. Doon ka sa likod ng kolorete, pag nangang kahulugan sa salitang paraiso para sa akin. Ba't kaya kayamanan ko pa din kinikilala ang iyong pagtawa? Kahit nasa puso man inandusay na natin ang kasya. Dati pa ako pinagdamutan ng kapalaran, kaya di na bago sa akin mawalan ng pag-asa. Umaga na naman, tawagan mo na lang ulit ako kapag hindi na kayo magkasama. May nakita kong isang babae, di ko malimutan ang kanyang imahe. Ano ba ang iyong pangalan noong nakita kita? Ako'y di mapakali, gustong mahawakan ang iyong mga kamay. Hanggang ngayon hindi mabalikay, sana ikaw ay makasabay. At nang malaman ko ang pangalan mo, nang ikaw ay makilala ko. Kailangan pa, alam mo talaga na kailangan ka. Katulad mo'y matagal kong hinahanap. Gusto kong makita, gusto kong makita isang dalagang Pilipina, yeah. Dalagang Pilipina, yeah. Isang dalagang Pilipina. Dalagang Pilipina, yeah. Isang dalagang Pilipina. I can't have you back, I guess I'm tripping now. We've been knowing about each other for a while now. Ain't no past we could have taken for this lifestyle. I had a girl, you had a man, that was long ago. Evolving daily, please don't judge me off a song ago. I know you ain't gonna wait forever. I know that it's gonna take more effort. Ikaw na pinaka-maganda na talaga sa aking mata.
Ikaw na ang
Tonight, his first game back after the inconclusive
all-inclusive test. How do you feel he's fared thus far?
I like his energy, George. I like the way he's attacking. He's just got to keep going at it. That's what he's got to do.
Stan, thank you. Good luck.
All right, thanks.
Guys, back to you.
Obviously, that was on tape because if George was talking to Stan right now, it'd be a heated discussion because Coach was not happy at all with the defense on Harrell there on that first bucket.
There's no way that George would have been able to finish that interview. Stan would have cut him short.
LeBron James back on the floor, 3 points, 3 assists. Good to see Harrell back out there, by the way, after taking that shot to the face. Morris short on the three. The Lakers 3 of 11 from three-point land. They're the number 3 three-point shooting team in the league. Zion Williamson takes out Morris this time, and Jackson Hayes underneath gets the basket. Morris still down. An inadvertent shot to Harrell earlier, and it looked like there was contact by Zion with Morris, unless it was friendly fire from Harrell.
It almost reminds me, and you would attest to this, playing against Derrick Henry. I mean, you tackle him, there's a price to pay. You wind up being bruised and banged up and battered because of trying to make the right play. Trying to defend this guy, look at the price you got to pay.
This is a closed course. You should never speed on icy roads. And avoid driving into slush pools at all costs. We've already done all the things you shouldn't, only to make sure your Honda can handle it.
Baby, hindi ko na kaya. Sobrang saya, muli tayong magsasama. Nadarang na naman sayang apoy. Bakit ba lagi hinahayaan?
May nakita kong isang lalaki, di ko malimutan ang kanyang imahe. Ano ba ang iyong pangalan noong nakita kita? Ako'y di mapagali.
Ikaw na lang ang katabi buong gabi. O pwede tayo magbabaga pag nalalamig. O magdamag na gasindi buong gabi. Sarap kasi ng tama kahit na mali.
Meron akong tinatago, di ko lang maamin. Pagdating kasi sa'yo ko'y mahiyain. Pero kahit anong oras mo ako tawagin, darating ako sobrang lakas mo kasi sa'kin. Tell me if you want me, baby boy, sabihin mo. Baga pwede ka na mapasakin kung gusto mo sa
Baby, pauwi na
Tell me if you want me, baby. Tell me if you want me, if you want me, if you want me, baby.
I just want your body, baby, lika na. Di na ko galit, baby, uwi ka na. Hinihintay kita dito kanina pa. I just want your body, na na na.
Ikaw na ang pinaka-gwapo na binata sa aking mata.
Ikaw na ang pinaka maganda na talaga sa aking mata. Yeah. Wow, kung hindi mo rin ako sasagutin, pwede bang sa inyo wag mo na akong papuntahin? Kung sistema natin ay ganun pa din, at least alam ko na kung anong dapat kong gawin. Para hindi na ako babiyahe, sayang pamasahe, pati ang tsokolate sa'yo. Sa dami-dami-dami mong sinabi, mahabang pa sa kalye, aasa lang pala ko sa'yo. Kaya sana di na lang nagsulat ng love letter sa'yo. Mag-aantay na lang, makakahanap din ng much better kaysa sa'yo. May nakita kong isang babae, di ko malimutan ang kanyang imahe. Ano ba ang iyong pangalan noong nakita kita? Ako'y di mapakali, gustong mahawakan ng iyong mga kamay. Hanggang ngayon hindi mapalagay, sana ikaw ay makasabay. At nang malaman ko ang pangalan mo, at nang ikaw ay makilala ko, baby, wag ka na mag-alilangan pa. Alam mo naman talaga na kailangan ka. Katulad mo'y matagal kong hinahanap pa, at gusto kong makita gusto kong makita Baby, pauwi na ako. Ako'y pauwi na. Baby, pauwi na ako. Miss na kita. Baby, pauwi na ako. Ako'y pauwi na. Hindi ka na malulungkot. Malapit na ako, baby, pauwi na ako. Makita sa mga mata mo na nalulungkot ka, kaya gumawa na ako ng paraan upang mapawi ang kalungkutan. Kasi naman lagi kang nagkakaganyan, ayoko naman na ikaw ay masaktan. Damdam ko ang pakiramdam na nahihirapan, kaya naman ayoko nang iparamdam sa'yo. Malapit na ako, konting oras na lang ay magsasama na tayo. Malapit na ako, dyan sa tabi mo, konting tiis na lang, mahal, mawawala na ang iyong miss na kita, baby.
If it goes well and he still stays healthy, he will wind up being the all-time leading scorer in the history of this game and a top 5 assist man in the history of this game. What an incredible, incredible career. And not just the years, but the amount of miles on his body.
Right on cue with another nice pass. The 4th assist for LeBron James. He's number 8 all-time in assists. He's the only player to win Finals MVP with 3 different franchises. Offensive foul here called on the Pelicans.
He's playing. He's like people said, well, he's going to be the point guard for the Lakers. He is legitimately playing the point guard position, finding guys, initiating offense, leading the group, timely scoring. He does it all for this franchise.
Both he and Anthony Davis re-signed the same day, December 3rd. James through 2023, and Anthony Davis through 2025, when he'll be 31 years old. So think about that. Anthony Davis still very, very young as Zion works into the paint. They're going to count the basket. So a 3-point chance for Zion Williamson, who's up to 10 points.
He's doing a very good job playing angles. They're giving him angles, and he is going directly at that angle, taking the hit, getting the contact. Great stop for Zion.
They get James for the foul, his second on the season. Williamson, a 62% free throw shooter. This is his 34th career NBA game. He played 33 games the one year he was at Duke.
So just imagine that move he just made. If he adds that face up and just without dribbling, that little mid-range jump shot, now it opens up a whole different can of worms for the defender to have to defend.
He's 5 for 8 from the floor tonight. Schroeder misses badly. Zion with a rebound. Lakers shooting 30% from the floor. Williamson on the attack, lost the ball. And another turnover by the Pelicans. They're in double figures now in giveaways. James hangs, can't finish, but another foul on Hayes, his second. Want live game scores, highlights, and more all in one place? Get the all-new NBA app. Download today via the App Store or Google Play. LeBron James at the foul line for the first time tonight. 70% free throw shooter on the season. Stan Van Gundy having a conversation with Zion, who'll head to the bench. Played a team-high 14 minutes tonight. Zion shaken up here, colliding with Morris and James. Actually, he was there hitting the foot of Schroeder where he hurt his head. But right now looks more frustrated than anything.
I've been there.
Jones rips the net on the second free throw, so LeBron with 5 points, 4 assists so far. Alexander Walker back on the court for New Orleans. Ingram coming off the screen, drains it at the foul line. Brandon Ingram 5 for 6. Good look by Morris underneath. Harrell puts it in.
It's good offense by both teams. They're moving without the basketball, the pin down for Ingram, and that time, great ball movement by the Lakers.
Harrell 3 for 3 from the floor off the bench. Hart gets deep into the lane. Tough shot. High degree of difficulty, but he gets it to go. And then LeBron James does not like the fact that Steven Adams locked him up afterwards. They're still talking. Caldwell Pope drives, and good job by Adams to go straight up. No defensive foul. Here's Hart in transition. Alexander Walker rising, draining another 3. This guy can't miss right now. 3 for 3, 2 of 2 from three-point land.
It's not his job to worry about the rotation, but he's doing a great job of putting pressure on Stan Van Gundy to make sure he's in it.
Melly commits the foul.
This guy has played outstanding as a starter, making plays, aggressive. Here's what you was talking about, LeBron getting a little tangled up with Steven Adams. I'm Steven Adams. I don't need to hear that. Guess what? I'm going to stay being physical. That's why I'm starting. I'm going to play with force. I tell you what, LeBron would love to have him on his team.
I think every team would love to have a guy like Steven Adams on their team for what he does. He's a leader. He's tough. He's physical. He's very skilled. Stan Van Gundy has said many times, look, he's everything we thought he was going to be and more. Now we have double technicals between LeBron James and Steven Adams called. These are free throws from the personal foul on Melly. Caruso back on the floor. And Morris will go to the bench. Ron James, second in MVP voting last year, got 16 of the 101 first-place votes, was not happy about it. And obviously after the playoffs, it's easy to look back and say, oh, maybe we should have voted for LeBron. But looks like he'll be in the mix again in 2021. Pelicans at 70% shooting here in the quarter. Ingram fires to the corner. Hart for 3. No good. And James with the clear. James uses the screen, hits the open Caruso. His 3 is good. And it's another assist for James, his 5th.
But you can't get frustrated if you're in New Orleans. That's good defense. You get the ball in the hands of James and live with a Caruso 3.
Alexander Walker not that time on penetration. James in the open court. Pels do get back though on D. Schroeder from this side. Another 3 ball. The Lakers starting to heat up, and James is up to 6 assists. Making the right play, finding the open man. 8-0 run by the Lakers. Back-to-back threes by Caruso and Schroeder.
T-Mobile knows the new year brings big news.
Several games postponed in a row. We'll take on the new-look Rockets. Mark, I know you talked a lot on Wednesday about the Rockets' James Harden trade to Brooklyn, but we have a new audience tonight, so why don't you rekindle that? Your thoughts on that trade and what it means for the Nets?
Well, they're the favorite in the East. You got 3 dudes that are flat out great basketball players, and we can't forget how great James Harden is. I think each team in that trade, involved with that trade, help themselves with what they acquired. But at the end of the day, the marquee name is James Harden. And you put James Harden with Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, I wouldn't want to face those guys.
Harden said today, whether this is how it plays out or not, the bottom line is, in his mindset right now is, whoever's got the hot hand, that's going to be the guy that takes the shot at the end of the game, and we're okay with whoever that is. As James makes a beautiful move in the lane, count it and the foul. The Lakers have scored 10 in a row and a chance for 11 straight with James going to the free throw line.
And they're doing a great job of getting stops the last couple of minutes and also pushing the basketball. Unselfish play and high percentage offense. James gets the contact and the hoop. But to get back to what you were talking about with whoever's the hot hand, it's different because they're not looking at each other like, get me the rock at the end. Even though each guy has proven to have the ability to go get a basket, the most important thing to me is they respect that the other two guys can flat out go get a basket. So I got no problem if I'm James Harden and Kyrie and KD shoot the basketball. Now, if it was Mark Jackson shooting the basketball, they should roll their eyes.
Give yourself a little more credit, but you're talking obviously about three absolutely elite offensive players. As Alexander Walker, got to be careful not to get his fourth foul there. Here's AD into the lane. Boy, missed twice there. He's 2 for 10 now in the ball game. Here's Ingram, collides with LeBron James, who's called for his third foul. They get LeBron for the block.
On the Lakers, I probably would take a look at that, just to protect LeBron from picking up his third, and also he's standing there taking a hit.
Boy, it looks like an offensive foul, doesn't it?
Absolutely. I'm surprised. But instead, he's going to come out the ball game with Marc Gasol coming in.
Entry pass to Brandon Ingram, working on Caldwell Pope. Ingram 6 of 7 from the floor. Make it 7 of 8. And Mark, he was out here, man, I want to say it was probably less than 30 minutes before the game tipped, and he was still out here shooting.
Getting a lot of shots up.
Schroeder bumped by Bledsoe.
But you talked about it, getting a lot of shots up. And what I don't like is the Lakers allow him to play one-on-one. That's a lot of dribbles on the block, playing one-on-one against Pope. Even though he's a good defender, that's a big-time ask to defend him for that long without help.
When he was here with the Lakers, you saw the potential, you saw flashes. He has really blossomed in New Orleans. Most improved player in the NBA last year and even better this year. And still a very young man, just 23 years old now in his 5th NBA season, second with the Pelicans after the first 3 here in LA. Works on his free throw shooting. He was a guy that shot mid to upper 60s percentage-wise when he was with the Lakers. Now he shoots between 85 and 90% at the line. Guy that absolutely loves the game. Watch his tape nonstop. We again talked about his work ethic out here shooting for about an hour. Bledsoe got Gasol off his feet and is able to score with Davis coming over trying to swat it away. Lead is back to 9, and Anthony Davis fouled. Pelicans are over the limit.
Stan Van Gundy yelling at his team, stop fouling. That's the way you allow a team to hang around. You play good defense, but you allow them to go to the free throw line and bail them out by giving them easy baskets from the line.
All right, the Lakers have taken 11 more free throws than New Orleans before these 2 by Davis. Coming up, Toyota Halftime with Maria Taylor. Taking a look at the Greek Freaks flaw. I'm going to guess free throw shooting is what they're talking about there, because I know it was a struggle tonight at the line. Don't want to give everything away, but
whatever his flaw is, I can live with it. Can I get an amen?
I don't know.
Are you serious?
I don't know. No, I am serious.
A back-to-back MVP?
You don't think there's some concern about the Bucks' ability to win in the playoffs because can Giannis make perimeter shots when he has to?
You said free throw shooting.
Well, can he make free throws when he has to?
I think he's a great player, and I don't think that that's the reason why they've lost in the playoffs thus far. It hasn't been because of his inability to make free throws or make shots. They just haven't played their best basketball when it mattered most. So we can overreact.
And another foul here on New Orleans. Some more free throws for the Lakers. They get Bledsoe for his third. Bledsoe did not play great last year in the playoffs for Milwaukee or the year before. But when you're the MVP and everybody's watching you, so if the team doesn't play well,
there's some accountability. I'm not letting them off the hook, but it's accountability across the board also.
Let's take a look at the numbers for Giannis this season. A great chance to win 3 straight MVPs. He's an unbelievable player. Again, it's just a question of can he make free throws in the postseason? Can he make perimeter shots in the postseason when the lane is clogged down? I mean, we saw it in the playoffs last year. They were not, as a team, they did not shoot the ball well at all in the bubble as a group. And they were great in the regular season from the perimeter. Their big addition in the offseason, Drew Holiday, who was traded for Bledsoe. But there were some other moves that were made there to try to improve that team. Turnover by the Pelicans. They're 13th of the first half.
That's the problem right now if you're Stan Van Gundy and the Pelicans. Fouling too much and not taking care of the basketball is a recipe for disaster to beat any team on the road, especially a very good team and the best in basketball.
Here's Davis, who's 2 for 10 from the floor on the night. That one goes, and Davis in double figures now with 11 points. Lakers back within 6, 2.5 to go. The Pelicans' largest lead tonight was 15. Lakers' only lead was 3-2, the opening minute of the game. Here's Ingram, 7 of 8 from the floor, 15 points. Working on Caldwell Pope, gets deep into the lane. Tough shot, but it drops for B.I.
He's upset too, and I believe rightfully so. A lot of contact on that drive.
9 in the quarter and a game-high 17 points for Brandon Ingram. Caldwell Pope gives it up to Caruso. Here's Marc Gasol from deep, and he drains a 3.
Good drive and kick by Caruso. Turns down the shot, gets into the seams, makes the play for Gasol.
Now in his 13th NBA season, Marc Gasol will turn 36 later this month. Redick comes up short, but he knew he was short, and he went and got his own miss, but they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. Yep, Redick stepped out. Laker ball.
Here's Ingram, gets into the seam. See a little contact, but the ability to finish. He's got the jumper, he's got the ISO, he's got the post, he's got the ability to play out a pick and roll. It's tough to respond defensively when a guy has everything to give to him.
Schroeder hits a cutting AD. Davis is fouled again. Already attempted 8 free throws. He'll take 2 more here. Second personal on Zion. Anthony Davis played in 13 playoff games in 7 years with New Orleans. With the Lakers, in 1 year, played in 21 and won the championship. Was named first team All-NBA. He and LeBron James, both first teamers, the first pair since Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire back in 2007 to be on the All-NBA first team.
That's why I got a problem with a lot of people like in New Orleans. They say, well, he's not a winner. Well, is he a winner now? He's playing for the Lakers and playing with LeBron James. The guy is a great, great basketball player and a future Hall of Fame. First ballot that way.
No question. And again, this guy's 27 years old. Zion Williamson gives it up. Bledsoe penetrates, and Bledsoe showing some strength. Stan Van Gundy thought he was fouled as well. 2-pointer for Bledsoe. He's got 4 points. A minute to go in the first half. Pelicans by 5. Davis works into the paint and gets the bounce. Nine in the quarter for Davis. 15 on the night. 3-point game. Williamson on the cut. Goes right at Gasol. And Gasol was better. Zion gets it back, though. Trying to get the handle. Kicks it out to Bledsoe. 3 won't go. Schroeder pulls up, trying to get a 2-for-1 off the heel, but it comes right back to him. Shot clock down to 4. Schroeder keeps it and kisses it off glass. The Lakers pull within 1. Final seconds here of the second quarter. Despite shooting 30% from the floor in the first quarter, they're right in this game. 14 Pelican turnovers. Ingram with 2, collides, gathers, and could not get it away in time. It would not have counted. LeBron James helped get the Lakers back in that game with his assists. Made some great passes to perimeter shooters. 10 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds for James. Anthony Davis with 15 points to lead the Lakers. Brandon Ingram has 17 to lead all scorers. But the Pelicans at one point were up 15. But because of James and AD, the Lakers now down just 1 at halftime.
The NBA on ESPN, presented all season long by State Farm, is brought to you by DoorDash, the official on-demand delivery platform of the NBA.
As a Marine, I learned resiliency. But when I lost my job, my home, and was living out of my car, I felt like a shadow of that person. Now I'm working to end veteran homelessness. Nearly 40,000 veterans struggle like I did. But with the help of Rocket Mortgage and Built for Zero, my community has ended veteran homelessness. Yours can too. Join us. Visit ahomeforeveryvet.org to get involved.
As a talking bucket of KFC, dinner time is my time to shine. Grab some piping hot chicken, young man. Much better than microwaved hot dogs, right, Dad? Eat up. I'm doing the cooking tonight. Get KFC tonight with free delivery.
We all look at the same world, but we all look at it in a different way. Some just see beautiful lines. We see character. Some see a new motor. We see a new era. Some see what's there. We see beyond today.
When we started our business, we were paying like an arm and a leg for the postage. I remember setting up ShipStation. I think it was just like 1 or 2 clicks. Everything was up and running. I was printing out labels and saving money.
ShipStation saves us so much time. It makes it really easy and seamless. Pick an order, print everything you need, slap the label onto the box, and it's ready to go.
Our cost for shipping, like, we're cut in half, just like that.
ShipStation, the #1 choice of online sellers. Go to shipstation.com/try and get 2 months free.
These folks, they don't have time to go to the post office. They have businesses to grow, customers to care for, lives to get home to. They use Stamps.com. Print discounted postage for any letter, any package, anytime, right from your computer. All the services of the post office, plus UPS, only cheaper. Get our special TB offer, a 4-week trial, plus postage and a digital scale. Go to Stamps.com/try and never go to the post office again.
Maria Taylor inside of our New York studio, and I want to show you the best thing that I've seen all night. The Celtics back in action, and they've got something to celebrate. That's because Taco Fall comes in, and guess what? Banks in the long two. Everyone loves taco. Everyone loves a win. The Celtics get it 124-97, and we've got the entire Toyota halftime back in 60 seconds.
We all have that friend, the strategic moving friend. The always has to compete with the radio friend. The our kids are friends, so we have to be friends friend. But as long as they're an I could eat a taco and burrito cravings pack with you friend, they'll make any moment a good one. The $10 taco and burrito cravings pack, only at Taco Bell.
My retirement plan with Voya keeps me moving forward. They guide me with achievable steps that give me confidence. This is my granddaughter. She's cute like her grandfather. Voya doesn't just help me get to retirement, they're with me all the way through it.
Voya, be confident to and through retirement.
This is more than a ball, and this is more than a beer. This ball can turn 11 individuals into a team and millions of fans into a family. This pint holds the story of countless toasts, turning differences into common ground.
Welcome to the Toyota Halftime.
Welcome back to New York City. The Pelicans led it by as many as 15, but now it is a 1-point game between the Lakers and New Orleans. Let's take a trip around the NBA. We start with the first game of our Friday night doubleheader. Mavs taking on the Bucks.
Bakit ganito? Ikaw lang gusto, hindi mo sapat. Masaya na ako. Bakit ganito? Ikaw lang gusto, dalhin kita sa paraiso. Kay gandang binibini, ikaw ang gusto ko, walang ibang pinili. Oh, kay gandang binibini, ikaw ang gusto ko, walang ibang pinili. Meron akong tinatago, di ko lang maamin. Pagdating kasi sa'yo, ako'y mahihain. Pero kahit anong oras mo ako tawagin, darating ako, sobrang lakas mo kasi sa'kin. Ewan ko kung paano ko bibit-bitin yung pagtingin ko, kasi kung hanggang tingin lang ay bitin. Ayoko rin naman kung kimkimin, kasi mukhang hindi ko pa rin sa'yo tayong banggitin. At baka isnabing mo lang at di mo pansinin, bitin kahit na empty, diretsin ng inumin, yung tapang ay wala pa rin. Saan ko hihiramin, kahit nagasing wala rin kung pag-isip ko. Kaya pa rin ako na magmahal pa, kasi nasaktan na parang wala na kung ibang gusto kundi kumanta. Dala ko wala na kung pag-asang makalas at pilitin, pero sumugal pa rin kasi ngayon mablala tayo. Sobrang traffic sa kalye, basta ikaw walang trasan, puro abante. Kahit saan pa ang biyahe, umulan man ang grabe, nandiyan ako lagi, ano man ang mangyari. Hatid sundo kita, 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 hatid sundo kita. Medyo matagal na rin tayong hindi nakita, kaya ngayon alam mo ba na miss na kita. At di ka, dapat kang malungkot, please ngumiti ka. Sa'yo ako ay nananapit na, baby, ako'y pauwi na. Sana hayaan mo ko na ngayon kita masolo, mayakap ka ng todo at upain kang parang loro. Pero kung talagang ayaw mo, edi wag na, para mo na rin pinatunayan na duwag ka. Alam ba kung iiwanan ka na niya, huwag kang mag-alala.
The Bucks. Giannis really struggled with free throws in this one. He was 1 for 10 from the free throw.
Anywhere convenience, everyday security.
Kaya easy ka lang, huwag ka magpakahibang. Huwag mong gawing mundo yung alam mo na kaya. Sarili ko'y hindi ko na maintindihan. Alam ko namang di ko to dapat maramdaman, dahil di mo rin naman kayang simplian. Pagmamahal ko magkaibigan lang ang tulinan, pero ako'y nasasaktan kahit na walang tayo. Nasasaktan ako kahit na walang tayo. Nasasaktan ako kahit na walang tayo. Walang tayo, walang tayo. Sexy lady with the pretty brown eyes, can you be my lifetime partner? Sana pwede ka pero sa akin pala ka hindi ka bagay sa tulad kong simpleng rapper. Piliin mo ko, patunayan mo may taste ka. Panalo ka na tsaka sure ka baby boy na safe ka. Pag sa'kin ka na pumpa-love, hindi ko na need mag-pedicab. Sa kayo na sa chikot ka na dalang na pinahiram ni dad. Wag mo sanang iisipin na papagod na ako. Di ako akurado pero sa'yo ano ba? Gusto ko lang kasi makasigurado. Sa unang tingin at sa unang kita, Sabi mo agad na pambihira, kasi iba talaga, grabe ang ganda. Binibining pinakamabisa, iba ang datingan, ibang karaniwan. Lalo pag nakita mo ng malapitan, kasi iba talaga, grabe ang ganda. Binibining pinakamabisa.
Natapos na ang lahat, dito pa rin ako.
But right now, the Lakers down 1 against the Pelicans. Second half coming next.
NBA Halftime is presented by Toyota. Show up in style in the all-new, completely redesigned Sienna. Toyota, let's go places.
Isang umagang di ka nabalik, sana'y malaman mo, hindi sinasadya. Kung ang nais ko ay maging malaya, hindi lang ikaw ang nahihirap ko, pero di pinaguguluhan, na posible. Ilang ikaw ang mababahala, bulong ng napapahirap ang pakawalan. Kahit na niloloko mo lang ako, kahit na tumingin ka sa iba, magmahal ka ng iba, magbubulag-bulagan ako. Masakit man ito dito sa puso, alam na aking mahal. Kahirap sabihin, di ako matatakot, mahihiya. Ano man ang sabihin nila, binaliwala niya ako dahil sa'yo, dahil sa'yo. Eto na, eto na. Sabi nga ng iba, kung talagang mahal mo siya ay hahayaan mo, hahayaan mo na mamaalam, hahayaan mo na lumisan. Ako na lang sana ang iyong minahal, ako na lang sana ang iyong ligaya, ako na lang sana hanggang pagtanda, ako na lang sana. Pinaliwala niya ako dahil sa'yo, dahil sa'yo. Ito nang huling awit na iyong maririnig, ito nang huling tingin na dati kang kinikilig, ito nang huling araw ng mga yakap ko't halik. Ito na, ito na, ingatan mo siya.
where only his guy can catch it and finish it. Next play, another pick and roll. You want to cheat and now take that away? I'm going to deliver the basketball to the open guy. That's Caruso in the corner. Stellar job of running his team's offense.
6 assists for James, 16 for the Lakers on 18 baskets. Lakers led for all of 27 seconds in that first half, but they can take the lead right here as James drives, and a beautiful pass underneath for assist number 7, and Anthony Davis up to 17 points now.
I tell you, I've experienced it in my career. There's nothing like playing with greatness, where they find a way to make you better. Whether you're a good player, okay player, average player, they elevate your play. Look at LeBron James. Comes off the screen, the attention given to him by the defense, drops it off to Davis. As great as Davis is, LeBron makes him better.
James is averaging 7 assists right now, but in part because his minutes are down. He's playing the fewest minutes of his career right now. And last year, he averaged 10 assists and led the NBA in that category. Gasol with 2 quick fouls here to start the third quarter, and Zion Williamson will go to the line.
And Anthony Davis realizing, telling his team, Gasol telling LeBron, that's my fault. The reason why he gambled on the pass, the entry pass to the post, giving Zion a direct line drive, putting Gasol in a bad position.
Williamson 1 for 1 at the line tonight, 62% on the year.
You know, while we have a moment, I want to take time out and send thoughts and prayers. I know so many people have been affected by this terrible, terrible virus, but I want to give a special shout out to Karl Anthony Towns, a guy that has gone through a lot, certainly thinking about you, praying for you, and be encouraged.
Yeah, Kat tested positive today for COVID-19 and said that he lost a number of people, passed away in his family, including his mother, because of COVID-19. It's been a rough year, obviously, for Karl Anthony. Wish him the best and a speedy recovery. Caldwell Pope from outside hits a 3, his first triple of the night. Or second three-pointer, I should say. 8 points now, and the Lakers with a 4-point lead. Alexander Walker, again, just so smooth with the handle and the hit. He's in double figures now, coming off that 37-point game. So he had 37 in his second career start. Alexander Walker did 29 in his first career start down in the bubble. That's the most points ever for a player in his first 2 NBA starts. Williamson with the rebound goes right back at Anthony Davis, and it wouldn't fall.
Think about what you just said. He had the most points in his first 2 starts in the history of the game. It's a heck of an accomplishment.
22-year-old out of Virginia Tech. First-round pick of Brooklyn was traded twice on draft night. Not once, but twice. To Atlanta and then to New Orleans, in fact, for the draft pick that was in the AD trade. DeAndre Hunter went to Atlanta, and Alexander Walker went to the Pelicans. As part of that Anthony Davis trade that also included Lonzo Ball, Josh Hart, and Brandon Ingram, who are now members of the Pelicans. In fact, no one on the Pelicans right now played at all with Anthony Davis. Zion Williamson's actually the longest tenured Pelican right now. 4th foul on Alexander Walker. As you look at him on the offensive end, you saw Caldwell Pope on the other end. We have 2 of the 3 longest names in NBA history in this game tonight as well.
That's doing your homework.
Somebody gave that to me. I can't take credit for it. Do you know who the other was? We said 2 of the 3. You ready for this? Hopefully I pronounce it right. Martinez Andrushkevicius. Do you remember him?
Yes.
I think I just butchered it. Sorry.
You did.
Sorry, Martinez. He actually played with LeBron for like 10 games with the Cavaliers 15 years ago.
Do you have a long middle name?
Not long enough. Jeffrey's not very long. So here we go. Here's the payoff. And look at me, even the other picture.
Wow. How about a young Mike Brown and a young Mike Malone?
That was in 2006. That was LeBron's 3rd year in the league. The next year, LeBron went to the finals. Got swept by San Antonio. James short with that one. James has since won 4 titles, 4 finals MVPs. As Williamson is fouled, they're going to get Gasol again. That's 3 fouls in less than 3 minutes here in the quarter on Gasol and 4 in the game.
And the Lakers got to do a better job, whether it's Davis or Gasol, staying in front of Zion. It's a tall task, but you got to make him a jump shooter and can't allow him to get angles, because you give him space, he eats that space up and gets to the cup.
11 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists for Zion Williamson, who averaged 32 points per game in 2 games against the Lakers last year. Full day of college basketball for you tomorrow on ESPN. Starts at noon with North Carolina taking on Florida State. Then at 2, we head to the SEC for Kentucky and Auburn. We need to get you in a college game again after you dipped your toe in the water last year with the Oregon-Colorado game.
I've had a lot of fun calling college games. Done a handful and really enjoyed the opportunity and recognized some great talent on that lower level on its way up to the big time.
I just appreciated you coming my defense with my normal broadcast partner, Bill Walton. With you working with him that night, I mean, he was on his best behavior with you there as a foul is called here on the perimeter against Josh Hart.
No, Bill and I are family. I'm not going to sit here and allow you to take shots. I had the time of my life working with the great Bill Walton. A lot of fun.
Except when he took your notes and threw them on the court.
And threw them on the court. What are these?
Here's James up top, working on Hart. LeBron has only taken 4 shots in the game. Gasol drives, and Adams comes over, got a piece of it. 3.5 minutes into the third, Lakers by 3. Good defense by James, almost caused a turnover there by Bledsoe. Lakers are the number 1 defensive team in the NBA this year in terms of efficiency. Bledsoe able to hit another 3. For the Pelicans, they're 7th.
Give this Pelican team a lot of credit. They're battling. They're competing. Like Lakers climb back in, take the lead. They don't surrender. They continue to fight.
Here's Schroeder. And Dennis Schroeder's so good with the mid-range game. He's got 12 points now. Become a better 3-point shooter as he's grown in the league now in his 8th season. Former first-round pick of the Hawks. Spent his first 5 years there. 2 as a starter. Came off the bench primarily at Oklahoma City, but a starter with the Lakers. Zion up high and then smashes it down. The double clutch dunk by Williamson. Schroeder off the heel. Tie game. Pelicans pushing tempo. Zion trying to post up James. Now they clear it out here for Ingram. Almost an interception by Caldwell Pope. Bledsoe couldn't make it anyway. Here's Davis from outside. No good on the 3. Lakers at 10-3, the best record in the NBA entering tonight. They've won 4 in a row. They got the Warriors here Monday. Next home game after that is February 4th against Denver. They'll be on the road for 7 straight starting next Thursday in Milwaukee. Ingram, just his 3rd miss of the night, kept alive though. He'll try it again, this time a 3, and it's good. And a timeout by the Lakers.
And I like the timeout by Frank Vogel. Right now, you look at the Lakers, their body language, going through the motions. They're good enough to react and respond. But right now, it's the Pelicans bringing the fight to the Lakers on a 10-2 run, led by Zion and B.I.
We all look at the same world, but we all look at it in a different way. Some just see beautiful lines. Beautiful lines. We see character. Some see a new motor. We see a new era. Some see what's there,
We see beyond today.
Hi, I'm a new customer and I want your best new smartphone deal.
Well, I'm an the fastest 5G network.
Oh, I want the fastest 5G network.
Are we actually doing this again?
It's not complicated. Only AT&T gives everyone the same great deal, like the Samsung Galaxy S21 5G for free when you trade in.
We've seen how far this game can go.
So we take it and run.
Painting new lines in places we've never been.
Places far above the rim, where we hold statements over stats.
Start runways of our own.
Make moves like nobody.
For everybody.
We don't move within the lines.
We move beyond them. Hennessy, the spirit of the NBA.
Ballin'. On a budget? Try the new $1 Your Way menu at Burger King, featuring a flame-grilled bacon cheeseburger. Value this good is hard to find anywhere else. The new $1 Your Way menu, now at Burger King. Your way, way better.
2K21.
Rated E for everyone.
Stealing the finish. And just a big man that can play and make life easy. Another point guard on the floor along with LeBron James' his playmaking ability and high IQ. To me, it's an upgrade. And no disrespect to Dwight Howard or JaVale McGee. They beat him in the athletic side, but his IQ on both sides of the floor just completes them.
Right, it's just different than what they had on their championship team last year at the center position with McGee and Howard. There's Ingram with the swat on Schroeder.
And, you know, he certainly has limitations. He's not a young Marc Gasol, but to play 20, 25 minutes for this team, I mean, it's a steal.
Now in his 13th year, 11 years in Memphis, and then won a championship with Toronto. Was originally drafted by the Lakers and part of the trade for Pau Gasol that ended up getting the Lakers a couple of NBA titles. Gasol helped Memphis get to a conference finals one year. Schroeder with a push shot, no, kept it alive though. Lakers with a 3-point lead. Hart tried to stay with James. Caldwell Pope along two, no good. And Davis kept it alive, good hustle. Caldwell Pope in front of the Pelicans bench. Drills a three, and Stan Van Gundy has had enough. He is upset right now, calls it timeout.
The NBA on ESPN, presented all season long by State Farm, is brought to you by Burger King. $1 your way, only at Burger King.
You ready for tonight?
I've been training 3 years for this fight.
You know I'm the greatest. Minister Malcolm X. Jim Brown takes the vote. Sam Cooke.
I ain't no damn hero. It's gonna be time to get back.
You brothers, you could move mountains without lifting a finger.
Kaso lang wala ka na, pero alam ko na masaya ka na. Sa mundo ko wala nang makakagawa, makakatumbas ng iyong napadama. Salamat sa pag-ibig mo, lagi kang nasa puso't isip ko at inaamin ko na namimiss kita. na namimiss kita. Sa akin ikaw pa rin ang baby ko. Ang baby ko kahit wala ka na sa piling ko. Piling ko pangakong ipagdadasal pa rin kita. Ipagdadasal pa rin kita. Halos 5 oras na ako nag-aantay sa'yo. Nag-aabang ako sa labas ng bahay nyo. Sipat ng sipat kung sisilip ka ba sa bintana. Magpakita kay parang di yata. Ilang beses ka nang lagi na lang ganyan. Kung iwasan ako'y parang ayaw akong ganyan. Sa susunod na punta ko'y pagbuksan mo na sana. Kasi kahit anong mangyari ay di ako mawawala ng pag-asa. Ayaw kitang pilitin kung di ka pa handa. Sa susunod na lang. Sa susunod na lang. Ayaw ko na bibitin. Kaya mabuti pang ako'y uuwi na lang. Sa susunod na lang. Ayaw kitang pilitin kung di ka pa handa. Sa susunod na lang.
Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear, celebrating the drive that moves you forward.
Ikaw pa rin ang baby ko.
It was 90 degrees in Los Angeles today. 90
in January. Good living.
Lakers were down by 15 at one point. Last comeback win by 15 or more was against the Pelicans. And Anthony Davis' first game against his former team, November of 2019, which feels like 10 years ago. Zion Williamson had yet to make his debut. He missed the first 44 games of last year as Davis blocks Ingram on the perimeter.
Anthony Davis grabbing that right ankle. I don't know if he tweaked it anything on the block shot attempt.
Kuzma left wide open. Poor defense again by the Pelicans. And at 10 threes now by the Lakers, they have opened up a 9-point advantage. Largest lead of the game. Where is the answer going to come for New Orleans? Perhaps here. Nope. Ingram couldn't get it, but Davis lost it out of bounds. So far, Davis 5 of 15 shooting, 17 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Kyra Lewis, rookie out of Alabama, who's playing in just his 4th NBA game, played 16 minutes Wednesday, got 10 points. He's out there right now to try to provide a spark. Ingram turned it over. Schroeder looking to push the tempo here, but everybody gets back. Caldwell Pope almost gave it away, now does. First turnover in 19 minutes by the Lakers. Playing clean offensive basketball as Ingram gets grabbed here by Schroeder. 4th team foul on LA.
And you talked about it the other day, how high Stan Van Gundy and this Pelicans organization is on Lewis. The upside of this young man, they rave about what they see for his future.
He's a young guy, just 19. He was a freshman at Alabama at age 17. Spent 2 years there, was drafted 13th overall. They love his speed and his shooting. And he was not afraid of the bright lights against the Clippers on Wednesday. Hit a couple threes in that game. And that was really his first NBA game. The other 2 games he came in, he just played mop-up duty in the final seconds. Lewis couldn't get that one to fall, though, and it's Laker ball. First team All-SEC last year as an 18-year-old sophomore at Alabama. Kuzma in the paint. Here's Harrell underneath, working against Melly. They get it back to him. Harrell's played just 9 minutes tonight. He's 3 for 3 from the floor. Can't get the jumper. New Orleans going without a basket now for 4 minutes, and another misfire. This one by Melly. They're still over 50% shooting, but down by 9. 18 turnovers by the Pelicans. James pass knocked away by Redick.
And it shows you the problems that LeBron James creates to an opposing team. He's the point guard, but they don't put Lewis on him. They put Ingram on him. So it puts Lewis on Kuzma so they can take advantage of that matchup with Kuzma's size.
And Kuzma draws the foul. It won't fall, but he'll shoot 2. Lewis picking up his first personal foul.
But that's what I mean by greatness makes you better. In that position, just the presence of LeBron James makes Kyle Kuzma a better player. Gives him the matchup that works in his favor, and he's able to take advantage of it.
Kuzma 6 points in 11 minutes off the bench. Career low in scoring, 11 points per game coming in. Check out the upcoming national TV schedule. This is on MLK Day. 5 games for you. We start on NBA TV with the Knicks and Magic, followed by Atlanta and Minnesota. Then on TNT, the Suns are in Memphis, Milwaukee is at Brooklyn, and the Lakers host the Warriors. It's looking like all 3 guys will be able to play, Durant, Irving, and Harden, by Monday night for the Nets. That'll certainly be a fun one to watch. Biggest story right now in the NBA. How that's going to work out in Brooklyn, and is that the team to beat right now in the NBA?
They won with talent, and they certainly have a ton of it.
The detractors who wonder about the chemistry, that's not a concern for you?
Not at all. Not at all, because they're 3 guys that get along. They get along, and the only way chemistry gets in the way is if winning is not the most important thing. And I think those 3 guys winning is. They've had issues, whatever you may say in the past, but I don't question their willingness to want to win.
2 of them are already champions. James Harden's played in an NBA Finals when he was with the Thunder before going to Houston, made it to the conference finals a couple times. We'll see. 90 seconds to go in the quarter. Lakers with possession up 10. LeBron James closing in on a triple-double. Kuzma hangs, can't finish, but LeBron over the top with a one-handed stuff. The putback slam by LeBron James.
I couldn't do that when I was 39. I couldn't do that this late in my career. I couldn't do it when I was 29.
I've never done it, but 36 years old, 18th year in the league, and just look at the way he maintains his body as Lewis with 2 to shoot. Lost it out of bounds. I mean, watch this from a 36-year-old. I mean, how many games has this guy played? Yeah, there's going to be some contact. It just doesn't matter. He rises above the defender and puts it back with the emphatic jam.
And you see on the video, he wants it more than anybody else on the floor. No white jersey put a body on him.
Oh, Redick falling out of bounds. That was almost behind the backboard. And Redick got it to go. The first field goal in almost 6 minutes for the Pelicans, ending a 15-0 Laker run.
And he delivers a message after the shot to the Lakers bench, looks back and does a little trash talk.
Here's James, 14 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds, and now a turnover. Numbers for the Pelicans if they hurry. Redick trying to get some airspace, can't knock down the 3. James with his 8th rebound. Goes behind the back, into the paint, counted as he spins it home off the window. In the second quarter, James been on a passing clinic. Here at the end of the third, it's as a score. A couple of big baskets here late in the period. Shot clock at 4. Melly inside the arc. Puts up an air ball. Adams is there, though. Gets it to go.
7 seconds. You got to make sure he sees bodies in front of him. Make him shoot a contested 3.
James misses the 3. Melly with a rebound. And that's the end of the quarter. So the Lakers overcome a 15-point deficit and take a 9-point lead as we go to the fourth quarter in Los Angeles.
Don't let the comfort fool you. Don't let the attention to detail lead you to believe that a Honda is a delicate machine. You'd be
Medyo matagal na rin tayong hindi nagkita, kaya ngayon alam mo ba na miss na kita. At teka, dapat kang malungkot, please ngumiti ka. Sa'yo ako ay nananabik na, baby, ako'y pauwi na. Sana hayaan mo ko na ngayon kita masolo. Mayakap ka ng todo at kaintong parang loro. Pero kung talagang ayaw mo, edi wag na. Para mo na rin pinatunayan na duwag. Huwag kang magayamba kung iiwanan ka na niya. Huwag kang mag-alala kasi marami pang iba. Idaan mo lang sa tawa kasi magpakatanga. Hanggang sa masanay ka na kasi ganyan talaga sila. Baka di mo alam na hindi nabilang sa daliri ang binibining sasaktan ka lang. Kaya easy ka lang, huwag ka magpakahibang. Huwag mong gawing mundo yung alam mo na sarili ko'y hindi ko na maintindihan. Alam ko namang di ko to dapat maramdaman. Dahil di mo rin naman kayang suklian ang pagmamahal ko. Magkaibigan lang ang turingan, pero ako'y nasasaktan kahit na walang tayo. Nasasaktan ako kahit na walang tayo. Nasasaktan ako kahit na walang tayo. Walang tayo. Walang tayo. Sexy lady with the pretty brown eyes, can you be my lifetime partner? Sana pwede ka pero sa akin palagay hindi ka bagay sa tulad kong simpleng rapper. Piliin mo ko patunayan mo may taste ka. Panalo ka na tsaka sure ka baby boy na safe ka. Pag sa akin ka na pampalove, hindi ko na need mag-pedicab. So kayo na sa chikot ka na dalang na pinahiram ni dad. Wag mo sanang iisipin na papagod na ako. Di ako apurado pero sa'yo ano ba? Gusto ko lang kasi makasigurado. Sa unang tingin at sa unang kita, masasabi mo agad ang pambihira. Kasi iba talaga, grabe ang ganda. Binibining pinakamabisa. Iba ang datingan, ibang karaniwan. Lalo pag nakita mo ng malapitan. Kasi iba talaga, grabe ang ganda. Binibining pinakamabisa.
Natapos na ang lahat. Dito pa rin.
Kind of kept us in it. We made a few adjustments at halftime with to try to slow down. Brandon Ingram did a much better job in that third quarter.
You're getting big contributions from guys like KCP and Schroeder. How important is your depth thus far tonight?
Yeah, that's the strength of our team. Obviously it starts with AD and Bron being the cornerstones of our franchise, but the depth that we have at the center position, at the wing, guys who can shoot the ball on the perimeter and guard, two-way players, big strength of our team.
Frank, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
George, that's what we talked about in the open. You look at that group, that supporting cast in the bubble that was so good for the Lakers as they won their 17th championship. This group might be even better. It's different as Zion flips it up and in and draws the foul on Montrezl Harrell.
And I don't even think it's close. In fairness, it's not just different, it's better. That's not a knock. You got two guys that finished 1 and 2 in the Sixth Man of the Year award that you add to a team in their prime. Now, you can say that the chemistry might not be better, but talent-wise, this is a far superior group.
Danny Green, Dwight Howard, Rondo, McGee, and Avery Bradley. Those are the guys that were on the team last year, and now you add the two guys you're talking about, Schroeder, Harrell. You add shooting with Matthews and Gasol. Let's bring in George for more.
You know, it's interesting, guys, as you watch this Lakers team night in and night out. I know, Mark, you also live here in L.A. like I do. It does feel like at times they're both trying to figure it out and coasting a little bit. It's a very strange scenario, but nonetheless, still unbelievably dominant on both sides of the ball when they're ready to play.
Timeout, though, by the Lakers as Redick's three gets the Pelicans within 4. Not a good start, though, to the fourth quarter. The Lakers on the floor. 84-80 right now, L.A.
The NBA on ESPN is presented all season long by State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
All the good neighbors got surprisingly great.
Kung talagang mahal mo siya ay hahayaan mo. Hahayaan mo na mamaalam. Hahayaan mo na lumisan. Ako na lang sana ang iyong minahal. Ako na lang sana ang iyong ligaya. Ako na lang sana hanggang pagtanda. Ako na lang sana. Pinaliwala niya ako dahil sa'yo. Dahil sa'yo. Ito nang huling awit na iyong maririnig. Ito nang huling tingin na dati kang kinikilig. Ito nang huling araw ng mga yakap ko't halik. Ito na. Ito na, ingatan mo siya.
Everybody in the deal passes their physicals as the Lakers get a dunk out of the timeout. LeBron James getting his 10th assist, finding Montrezl Harrell.
Well-designed play out of the timeout to make sure you get a quality trip on the offensive end and put pressure on the Pelicans defensively.
James is 2 rebounds away from a triple-double. Here's Williamson attacking. Had it rejected and then kept alive. Kuzma saved it. LeBron in transition with the spin, the hang, and he'll go to the line.
And it's LeBron patiently waiting. A little high screen and roll, a little slip with his screen and roll, forces Zion to help. A little drop off to Harrell. He does the rest.
You know, I was asking you earlier about, since you played till you were 39, the challenges that LeBron will have in the next few years. You look at, like, the NFL playoffs tomorrow. You got a 43-year-old and a 42-year-old. You got a 37-year-old and Aaron Rodgers, who's probably going to be the MVP of the league. Might we see LeBron James play into his 40s?
I say yes. His goal, he stated clearly, is to hang around until at least his son hopefully is in position to make it to the NBA. His dream would be to play with his son. And he is good enough, healthy enough, and committed enough to see that through.
I mean, you never know when the body's going to start to break down, but just watching LeBron James tonight at age 36, I mean, he looks no different than what we saw 3-4 years ago from him.
The advantage is his ability to play the point guard position. So the game slows down for him at this stage.
Most points per game in NBA history, age 36 or older. Karl Malone did it in 2000 at 25 and a half. And if LeBron's minutes go up, he might average more than that. Again, he's averaging a career low in minutes played. Morris no good on the jump shot, and Williamson with his 11th rebound to go with 17 points. He's brought it up the court a lot tonight in transition and in the half court, but again, not finishing from about 4 or 5 feet out. James so efficient. You talked about obviously playing the point and the assist with 10, but he's only taken 9 shots and he's got 18 points in this game. And he's perfect at the line, 7 of 7. His three-point shooting is better now than it's been in the last 4 or 5 years. It's the best it's been since 2013. He's right around 40%. Here's Redick with about 4 to shoot. Misses on the 3. 3 minutes gone by in the fourth. Lakers by 8. Caruso, nice pass. Harrell fouled by Williamson and puts it in. And then Redick lands on Harrell accidentally at the end, but Montrez looks to be all right.
Lakers doing a much better job at driving and making plays. Caruso, the penetration and the beautiful drop-off to Harrell, who gets the contact and the hoop.
Third foul on Zion Williamson. Harrell showing his strength, finishing through the contact of Zion. That's not easy.
Can you do me a favor when you talk to Jeff Van Gundy? I was in my third dream last night, sleeping comfortably. At 4 a.m., this dude texts me. Are you kidding me? At 4 a.m., he puts me in a group text. What are you doing? What are we doing? I'm trying to get my sleep on. I got work.
Can I ask what the text was in regard to? Here's James for 3. No good.
It was a group text with Mike Green involved, basically recognizing a YouTube video about Mike and his bang calls and the legendary calls. We understand his greatness, but not at 4 a.m., Mr. Van Gundy.
6 a.m. for Jeff, but you're right. Still, what's he doing up at 6 looking at YouTube videos? Mike Green.
And Mike, obviously, Mike responded right away. Well, Jesus. Come on. Humble Mike.
Here's Kuzma for 3. Good. Kyle Kuzma draining the triple. A timeout by New Orleans as the Lakers are starting to pull away.
And Kuzma on the defensive end gets it done. Opportunities offensively. LeBron makes the play, steps in rhythm, knocks down the 3.
Burger or grilled cheese?
Grilled cheese.
Burger.
Lahat ng sa'kin na baby.
Neneng B, ako ang iyong boy pick up. Can I see you? Anong oras ba ang meet up? Uling ka ba? Kasi kanina sa'kin nagbabaga ka.
Si spaceship, isasakay kita. Lahat ng kailangan naging dala-dala. Safe kapag kasama mo, huwag ka magtaka. Hindi ka magdududa, walang baka-baka. Parang hindi ang kanyang katawan. Ang sarap mong titigan. Rosas ka ba? Kasi sa spaceship isasakay kita. Parang hindi ang kanyang katawan. Ang sarap mong titigan. Rosas ka ba? Kasi sa spaceship
more than a ball,
isasakay
and this is more than a
kita.
beer. This ball can turn 11 individuals.
Hindi ang kanyang katawan. Ang sarap mong titigan. Rosas ka ba? kasi sa spaceship isasakay kita.
I'm Stan Barrett, Sports Center from LA. Coming up after the game, Paul Pierce is going to join us to break down Lakers, Pelicans, Mavs, Bucks, and give us his thoughts on the new look Nets. And we'll preview the NFL divisional playoffs with Mina Kimes. Sports Center after the game.
Be patient, shoot open threes, we'll get back in the paint a second time. Okay, we're getting good shots on the perimeter. Make sure we're touching the paint. Okay, we want to still attack the paint. You lead the league in defensive charges. Give me one. Okay?
Frank Vogel now in his second season as the head coach of the Lakers, a Rick Pitino disciple. He was talking to Montrezl Harrell, says they have a really good relationship in part because of Rick Pitino. Harrell played for Pitino at Louisville. They took a point away from the Pelicans. A 3 by Redick changed to a 2. But back to more important matters. In defense of Mike and Jeff, you need to either have your phone on buzzer or on Do Not Disturb.
No, that's not true. I don't agree with that at all. I got a daughter that lives out of town and working out of town, and you just want to stay on top of things, make sure everything is okay. So I don't expect the phone to ring at all at 4 a.m. Are you kidding me? And these guys going back and forth, having dialogue, keeping me up.
Here's Caruso. That's a good pass by Anthony Davis. 27 assists on 33 made shots, and the Lakers opening up a 17-point lead. It's a 32-point turnaround. They trailed by 15 at one point, now up by 17, their largest lead of the game. Williamson can't muscle it home the first time, but gets the putback, and now has 19 points and 12 rebounds.
I think if you're Frank Vogel, who's done an outstanding job for this Lakers organization, winning the championship and guiding and leading and supporting guys, I think the message tonight is, okay, we can do this, turn it on and off against a team like the Pelicans that's shorthanded and young. We have to make sure we continue to develop the right habits and don't get comfortable in thinking we can come back at any time.
As you look at the Lakers right now, is there a concern as Zion gets in the lane? Is there a weakness at all that you see that makes you question whether they can repeat?
They're the favorite, but I watch games every day, all day, and I will tell you this. Any team in this league, in my opinion, right now, can be beaten. I've seen that with my own eyes where I believe that anybody can be beaten, and not just in the finals. I believe the Lakers can be beaten before they got to the finals if they go through the motions. But they are clearly the favorite.
It was interesting being here Wednesday and watching the Clippers. They look a lot different. They look a lot different than they did in the bubble. Paul George looks like he's back to his old self, which obviously is huge for the Clippers, who were very disappointing in the playoffs last year.
And they do look different, but the Clippers can be beaten before they get to the Lakers. They can overlook other teams, and there are teams good enough in the Western Conference to beat the elites.
Denver obviously got to the conference finals last year. A little bit of a slow start, but Jokic playing at an MVP level. You have Utah and Dallas, even Phoenix, Portland. The West, every year, it feels like we say it every single year, the West is so deep, but man, it just feels like everybody in the West could be good. Anthony Davis, another nice pass to Harrell underneath. That's 7 assists for Davis, 5 assists for Anthony Davis. The Lakers now leading by 17 over the Pelicans midway through the fourth.
Ready or not. Gillette ProGlide and ProGlide Gel. 5 blades and a pivoting flex ball designed to get virtually every hair on the first stroke while washing away dirt and oil. So you're ready for the day.
Or file online and get help if you need it. No matter how you choose to file, Block has your back.
You work hard for your money. Stretched days for it. Juggled life for it. Took charge.
Baby, wag ka nang mag-alilangan pa. Alam mo naman talaga na kailangan ka. Ang katulad mo'y matagal kong hinahanap at gusto kong makita, yeah. Gusto kong makita isang dalagang Pilipina, yeah. Dalagang Pilipina, yeah. Isang dalagang Pilipina. Dalagang Pilipina, yeah. Isang dalagang Pilipina. Wow, baby, nais kong makita yung dalagitang Pilipina. Nakilala ko noon sa social media. Nakakaakit siya, kaya sa kanya na lang nagpadala. Para sa ako sa dagat ang nakahiga. Huwag kang mag-aalala, baby, mamimiss kita. Malayo ka man sa
I work, man. I'm just a workaholic, man. Give me props. Jeff is used to chilling and relaxing.
And looking at Mike Breen highlights on YouTube at 6 in the morning. Their 5th straight win and an 11-3 record, which is best in the NBA, unless the Pelicans can mount a furious comeback, but an empty possession there. Here's LeBron James, 18 points, 11 assists, and 8 rebounds. He's taken just 10 shots, made all his free throws, and played 29 minutes. He's averaging about 31 minutes played per game, his fewest in any season. Schroeder, no good, but there is Harrell, who's matched the Pelicans in scoring here in the quarter, and then James knocks down his second three-pointer. Another Pelicans timeout.
And as the Lakers, ball movement, activity, offensive rebound, subjected to wide open three, and LeBron steps in rhythm.
Panaginip ko nag-aalala lang ako baka saan ka mapunta. Pero mukhang ayos ka naman, di na kita abalahin pa. Ilang naman namin pa ba ang dapat para patago kang mag-alala sa'kin? Habang pinapantasya, lamang nila ay maskara mo sa gabi at pitaka mo sa umaga. Doon ka sa likod ng kolorete, pag hinangang kahulugan sa salitang paraiso para sa'kin. Ba't kaya kayamanan ko pa din kinikilala ang iyong pagtawa? Kahit nasa puso man inandusay na natin ang kasya. Dati pa ko pinagdamutan ng kapalaran, kaya di na bago sa'kin mawalan ng pag-asa. Ngayon na umaga na naman, tawagan mo na lang ulit ako kapag hindi na kayo magkasama. May nakita kong isang babae, di ko manimutan ang kanyang imahe. Ano ba ang iyong pangalan noong nakita kita? Ako'y di mapakali, gustong mahawakan ng iyong mga kamay. Hanggang ngayon hindi mabaligay, sana ikaw ay makasabay. At nang malaman ko ang pangalan mo, nang ikaw ay makilala ko, kailangan pa. Alam mo naman talaga na kailangan ka. Katulad mo'y matagal pa. Gusto kong makita, gusto kong makita isang dalagang Pilipina, dalagang Pilipina, yeah. Isang dalagang Pilipina, dalagang Pilipina, yeah. Isang dalagang Pilipina. I can't have you back, I guess I'm tripping now. We've been knowing about each other for a while now. Ain't no past we could have taken for this lifestyle. I had a girl, you had a man, that was long ago. Evolving daily, please don't judge me off a song ago. I know you
Think about it. Last year, you get two guys getting 28, not named LeBron and AD, is a good night for them. This is just a regular night for Harrell and Schroeder.
6 players in double figure. Now 78 points total in his first 3 starts of his career.
You see Frank Vogel already beginning to insert some of the guys off the bench, want to get his, especially Davis and James, want to get those guys out of the game.
We said with regard to the minutes for James and Davis, we have to be responsible. We have to really pay attention to those minutes. Said at some point it's possible we'll raise the minutes for these guys if we need to, but they may not need to. You look at the numbers tonight, Davis 33 minutes, James 30. That's about what they're averaging on the season. Davis actually a little bit more than he's been averaging on the year. LeBron incredibly efficient tonight. Finishes 2 rebounds shy of a triple-double.
I remember those days playing on good teams early on in my career. We'd play against teams like the Celtics or the Lakers, and you'd be in a battle for 3 quarters, and before long, 4th quarter starts, and you see Bird, Parrish, McHale, the late, great Dennis Johnson, Danny Ainge. You see them on the bench because they've created separations, similar to what the Lakers have done to the Pelicans tonight.
Here's a turnover by the Lakers. They get a couple days off. They'll play the Warriors on Monday night here in Los Angeles. And then they'll head out for a 7-game road trip starting at Milwaukee next Thursday. Backdoor pass is broken up by Caruso. So you got Kuzma, Caruso, Morris, Carroll, and Schroeder. Count the basket for Kuzma. 3-point chance, and now I think they're going to get Ingram for a technical. Yep, he swatted the ball in disgust after the play.
But Frank Vogel talked about it in talking to George. He said their defense had to be better, and they certainly responded defensively to the call. And I think Stan Van Gundy is going to challenge him, and he may win it because Kuzma used that left hand to shield off Jackson Hayes.
The technical, though, would stand.
No pun intended.
It's a 25-point lead for the Lakers. New Orleans in the second half, to your point on the defense.
The call on the floor is a defensive personal foul. New Orleans has called timeout to challenge the play.
David Guthrie, our crew chief, along with Tyler Ford and Jason Goebel. But to your point of the defense.
Kung hindi mo rin ako sasagutin, pwede bang sa inyo wag mo na akong papuntahin? Kung sistema natin ay ganun pa din, at least alam ko na kung anong dapat kong gawin. Para hindi na ako babiyahe, sayang pamasahe, pati ang tsokolate sa'yo. Sa dami-dami mong sinabi, mahabang pa sa kalye, aasa lang pala ko sa'yo. Kaya sana di na lang nagsulat ng love.
Yes, but there's certain games that you got to understand and embrace. And the message is, okay, there's a way to lose. We played 3 great quarters. We had things going the first half. Let's take a look at what we didn't do to allow them to take over this basketball game. And it's the fouls. It is a carelessness, turning the basketball over. Individually and collectively, we have to be better.
Coming up next is Sports Center from LA with Stan and Neil. Full post-game coverage from our game, plus James Harden's introductory press conference in Brooklyn. Paul Pierce tells you how the new Big Three can win a title. And Mina Kimes on the likelihood of the Rams and Saints meeting in the NFC Championship game. You're now a Buccaneers fan because you follow Brady. I don't know what you think of Mina. They're picking the Saints over the Bucs. Which would be 3-0
So
against
after
the Bucs.
review, there is illegal contact by the offensive player. So the play is overturned. It will be an offensive foul on Kyle Kuzma.
The correct call. And back to your, trash talking.
What's it trash? Mina was the one who did it.
No, we saw it. We don't need you delivering the message and then repeating it to me. I'm going with the Bucs. It's tough to beat a team 3 times in a year. The Saints are loaded, extremely well coached, an all-time great quarterback with weapons offensively, but I'm going with the Bucs.
They're well coached. Give a shout out to BA and Todd Bowles there.
I didn't need to go down the resume. It speaks for itself.
I can't wait. There's some great games this weekend. Not just in the NFL, but in the NBA. Can't wait to see this Brooklyn team if James Harden makes his debut and when Kyrie's back. And
they're going to see must-see. They're going to be must-see TV.
Lewis misses, knocked it out of bounds though by Kuzma. Well, I guess not. Laker ball. Talk about that doubleheader next Wednesday. That Boston-Philly game should be great. Philly, Joel Embiid looks a lot different this year, Mark. I don't know how you feel about the way he's played, but it just seems like he's playing the different mentality so far.
I said before, Doc Rivers gave him the ultimate compliment, in my opinion. Doc Rivers said he's a combination of Patrick Ewing and Kevin Garnett. Those are two all-time great players that nobody, outnumbered them as far as their passion and commitment and competitive spirit. And Joel Embiid has responded. Defensively, he has bought in, and offensively, he has the total package.
Right now, they're near action. Taylor Tucker is on the floor for the first time tonight, but he's been playing about 17 minutes a game. Second-year player that was the star of the preseason for the Lakers, but Frank Vogel said earned some minutes because of the way he played in the preseason. Inside 2 minutes to go in this one. Kuzma with a rebound off the Alexander Walker miss. Here's Markieff Morris from deep. His three is good. That is the 15th three-pointer for the Lakers tonight.
You think about a young Kyle Kuzma, he gets into this type of situation, he's thinking score. Now all of a sudden he's in there making plays.
Jackson Hayes with the slam. We're talking about the football-basketball crossover. He was a football player until like 5 years ago. His dad, longtime NFL tight end, coached for a long time in the league as well. Jonathan Hayes is Alfonso McKinney misses that one. Here's Hayes from the corner. Says something to Anthony Davis in the Laker bench after he knocked that one down.
From Anthony Davis, I'll point to the scores. Look up, young fella.
Shot clock at 9. Here's Quinn Cook. Tough shot along the baseline. Out of bounds to New Orleans. So the Pelicans will fall to 4-7. It'll be 5 consecutive losses. They'll have given up 110 points or more in all 5. Back when they were winning games early on, their defense much better. Meanwhile, the Lakers are going to go to 11-3, the best record in the NBA. This will be 5 straight wins for Los Angeles.
And over 500 at home.
4-3 at home, 7-0 on the road. And they have the Warriors here Monday night before a 7-game road trip. Lakers early on in their quest for a record 18th NBA championship. Certainly looked like they have a great opportunity to repeat in 2021. An improved bench. They're the number 1 defensive team in the league. They're much improved from three-point range. They're number 3 in the league in three-point percentage. They're around 20th a year ago. And they have so much depth. LeBron James at 21, 11 assists, 8 rebounds. AD at 17 against his former team as the Lakers win their 5th in a row.
Masaya ka na ba? Dahil ako'y nahihirapan pa na matanggap na may mahal ka ng iba. At ngayon, wala ka na, di mapaliwanag ang nadarama. Kaya salamat sa pag-ibig mo. Ibig mo lagi kang nasa puso't isip ko. Isip ko at inaamin ko na namimiss kita. Na namimiss kita. Sa'kin ikaw pa rin ang baby ko. Baby ko kahit wala ka na sa piling ko. Piling ko ang akong ipagdarasal pa rin kita.
kapag panahon ng tag-ulan, masarap mag-chill, mag-reminisce at tumunganga habang nakikinig sa napakalamig na boses ng dalawang bisita natin ngayon. Kaya naman, please welcome Moira De La Torre and Kay Carl.
Losing streak. Lakers trying to extend a 4-game winning streak. Dennis Schroeder misses a three-pointer. Josh Hart corrals the loose ball, then up top for Williamson. Pelicans will build the early lead. Later in the first, Pelicans up 8. Williamson. Right down Main Street into the mayor's office. He would continue to use his size to his advantage. Second quarter, Pelicans up 9. Williamson. He scored all his points in the paint so far this season, all of them. Pelicans go up double digits. Meanwhile, LeBron James impacting the game in other ways besides scoring. Delivers a near full-court pass to Montrezl Harrell, then finds Harrell again, finishes a layup off a pick and roll. Under 6 minutes to go in the half, Lakers down 10. Look at the pass to Schroeder. Great court vision to find him. James facilitating for the Lakers. Less than a minute later, his pass is deflected, but Anthony Davis gets it back to James. Bucket. And the foul. First half, James 10 points, 3 rebounds, 6 assists. Williamson 11.7 rebounds, 4 assists. Pelicans had a 1-point halftime lead. They led by as many as 15. Third quarter, Pelicans down 2. Williamson. Double clutch and a big finish. Can we see that again, please? Thank you. $1:30 to play in the third. Lakers up 10. Kyle Kuzma, no serve, but James with a putback. Unbelievable. He timed the jump with a defender in front of him, still able to stretch out and throw it down. Early fourth, Pelicans down by 9. Williamson put him on the line as well. Strong performance from Williamson all night, but in the end, LeBron James and company, just too much. 5 minutes left, Lakers up 17. Schroeder misses, but James is out there lonely and knocking it down, and the Lakers just ran away with this when they win it 112-95, 21 for each of the star players. Here's James with Joyce Sedano.
We're here with LeBron James after a win against the Pelicans. LeBron, a little bit of a slow start tonight, but you guys put the clamps on defensively. Since that Spurs loss, you guys are only giving up 102 points per game. What has been the big difference on defense?
Just taking individual accountability, guarding your man first and then relying on help second. And then once, guys broken down because we're in the NBA, great NBA players every night. We have the ability to be able to help one another and fly around. So, stand in front of your guys, like I said, helping one another and then cleaning the glass defensively.
We're about 20% through the season, which sounds crazy. You guys have a whole new group here in a lot of ways, a bunch of different guys. What is your level of comfort and chemistry with this particular group right now through this point of the season?
20% through, like you just said. We're playing some good basketball. We want to continue to learn. Like you said, we got 5 new guys that's in our rotation. From that wasn't part of it last year. And Dennis the Menace, Trez, Big Mark, Wes, and also Taylor. Implementing our guys to our system and continue to build off that. But we're playing some good basketball right now. We want to continue that.
LeBron, your next game is on Monday, which is MLK Day against the Warriors, obviously a day of remembrance, particularly with everything that's going on in the country right now over the last 10 days, heck, even over the last year. What can the NBA do, and even people around the country do, to magnify Dr. King's message?
Well, first of all, happy birthday to him. I believe he will be 92 years of age today if he was still here. But what he do for us every single day, his name and his words and his legacy still live on. So he's shining his light on us every day. As NBA players and as our league, we continue to voice what he was talking about. About equality. All races and all shapes and sizes, all colors coming together for the better of happiness and for the better of love, and continue to push forward. We understand that we are going to see hate. Hate is going to be a part of America, going to be a part of this world. But if we can have, more people that's in the love factor and not in the hate, then, we can continue to be better. It's all about passing it down, passing it forward to the next generation, the generation that comes after you, as he did, as he spoke. And as someone that's has a platform like myself, I will continue to live by a lot of his messages that he had going on back when he was alive.
LeBron, congratulations tonight, and thank you so much for always making time for us.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
All right. Guys, back to you.
All right, George, James, and Williamson each led their teams with exactly 21 points Friday, which brings their combined total through 3 meetings to 180 points. Only 3 pairs of number 1 picks have scored more over their first 3 meetings in the common draft era, which dates back to 1966. As promised, Paul Pierce is in the house. Good to see you again, my man.
Good to see you. How you doing?
Good. All right, so the Lakers down 15, and then they just went to another gear, ran away with it. How'd they do it?
Well, when you have a top-notch defense, and you have LeBron in the locker room at halftime, you're like, guys, we got to take it to another level. I've been on teams, once we won a championship, there was no lead we felt like we couldn't come back from. And being that the Lakers are the champs, they're like, look, it's time to turn it up. We took a half off, let them get their confidence. But look, we got another gear. We're the champs, and they just pressed the button. That's what we used to call it. Let's press the button, guys. Let's show them what we're really about, because to go from down 15 to up 20 points, the Lakers know what they're doing.
Frank Vogel said early in the season, and the players said that they were going to have to kind of work this early in the season. No real training camp, no real off season. They were right back on the court after the championship run, and they had a lot of new pieces. But now it seems like it's all working together. How'd they put it together?
Well, the guys are buying in. The new guys, Schroeder. Morris is back, a veteran who was there last year. Montrezl Harrell. These guys, they want to win a championship. Those guys are hungry, and they're keeping the energy up when they go into their video meetings, when they have, breakfast at the hotel. Those guys are hungry, and it's keeping this team's energy up. So there's not going to be, I don't expect any Laker hangover, because now LeBron's minutes are down. AD's minutes are down. They got this added depth to where they can kind of cruise through the season but still win a lot of games and turn it up once the playoffs come.
James averaging about 32 minutes per night, which is low for him.
Yes.
And the Lakers now with 5 in a row. All right, we're going to talk Mavs Bucks in just a minute. First, Neil with the highlights.
Bartender. How about an old Milwaukee? Bucks and Giannis Antetokounmpo hosting Dallas and Luka Doncic. There's your stars. Here comes your highlight. First quarter, Dallas down 7. Doncic splitting 2 defenders. Boy, he's so good. Nice move right there. Splits them with the hesitation. Milwaukee was up 7 after 1. Let's go to the second quarter. Antetokounmpo. Face full of Opa.
Kahit sinong lalaki mababaliw sa'yo. Panahon nandun ka pa, laging pumupunta. Di maasahan, may sorpresa ka laging dala. Ang saya-saya, ayoko lang pahalata. Kasi okay na naman ako, basta makasama.
Cauley Stein. Bucks up 10 there. Then Doncic to Wes Iwundu. In the corner 3, Doncic had 10.7 assists in the first half. Antetokounmpo had 16 in the first half. Milwaukee suing Mavs possession. Doncic averaging a triple-double over his last 6 games. He was a rebound shy of that in this one. Bank open there, and then James Johnson. He doesn't have to call me Johnson, and the Mavs take a 1-point lead. Bucks have, the Mavs have had the Bucks number, beat them 11 of the last 14 times. Chris Middleton stands watching the game and goes, the 2 biggest buckets in this game were Chris Middleton's threes. They better be in the highlight. They're in the highlight. Chris Middleton goes 4 of 9 from 3, has 25. Mavs call a timeout. All right, here we go. They've got 1 timeout left. Now, entering the final minute of play, Doncic 1 of 6 from 3, under 30 seconds to play. Mavs down 2. Trey Burke shoots the 3. Cauley Stein, offensive rebound. He finds Porzingis. After Burks to Porzingis. Notice Doncic did not touch the ball, and afterwards said, hey, what about that timeout? Had the timeout, did not use it. Rick Carlisle says, hey, we'll handle that internally. You can see Doncic frustrated. Okay, we got under 2 seconds. One of the Lopez brothers at the free throw line. That's Brooke. Misses. Doncic. Off the board, no good. Antetokounmpo 31, Doncic 28 and 13. The Bucks 112-109.
We'll show him bodies. He wasn't able to get easily to step back that he loves to do. We just made him pass the ball. It's hard. You got to be like him for 48 minutes. But I think Drew, everybody behind Drew, did a great job, switching. When it was going downhill, we were right there.
We played bad. I'm going to say that. I think we played bad. It wasn't our good game. But, we hang up there. We had a chance to go up in that situation. So I think we did some good things even on a bad night.
Great player, great sweatshirt. Entering Friday's game, the Bucks had outscored opponents by over 11 points per game and had played just one clutch time game. Their 3-point win over the Mavs is their first clutch time win of the season, becoming the last team in the league to win a game in clutch time this season. Clutch time is their new word.
All right, so they get the clutch time win. It's a close game, Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And Giannis Antetokounmpo is 1 for 10 from the free throw line. How much of a concern is that for you?
Well, that has to be a huge concern. And this was the concern last year about the Bucks and why people didn't pick them to go to the finals or win it last year, because down the stretch you have to wonder, could Giannis make free throws? Could he be that guy? And you see this year, this is their first clutch time win. And thanks to their defense down the stretch on Luka Doncic, and then Middleton. And then Middleton coming up with some big threes. That was the biggest question. Who's going to be the closer for Milwaukee? Middleton showed that tonight. But we all know that the ball is going to be in their best player's hands. And can he deliver? And if you can't make free throws and you can't knock down shots, open shots, or over
the last 5 years. He's still an MVP type player, though. Luka Doncic picked by a lot of critics as NBA analysts as the MVP frontrunner this season. You still going with that?
Well, he's well on his way, as you see the numbers tonight. He's close to averaging a triple-double. If he can get a few more wins toward the end of the year to where you got the Dallas Mavericks sitting in the top 4 position, then yes, because the numbers are going to be there for him. But to the victor goes the spoils. And we all know if you don't win a lot of games and you won't get that MVP trophy, it may end up in the hands of LeBron with the Lakers being in first place.
Yep. We'll see. Doncic does a lot of things. Does a lot of things well.
Absolutely. He's fun to watch, man. I enjoy watching him every night. It's good to see Porzingis back also. He should give them a big lift.
Good to see you, too. It's the truth and nothing but the truth.
There's a restaurant next door to our studio here called Shaquille's or Shaquile's, as my wife put it. She's not a huge sports fan. Shaq's beloved by Laker Nation. Rings do that, so the restaurant a block from where the Lakers play makes sense. Now, James Harden opening a restaurant in Houston. That's a tougher one to swallow. The steakhouse is named 13, Harden's number with the Rockets. Except now he's wearing 13 for the Nets. 13, the Chop House, is scheduled to open this month. It's getting reviews already, and one comment reads, doesn't quite have that championship taste. Will 13 deliver?
After the bubble, after that loss, just wanted to reevaluate my career and the team and the direction that the organization was going. And as time went on and free agency and things like that started to go on, it was like, well, I felt like we didn't have a chance, and so I think at the point in my career, it's not about money, it's not about anything else but having a chance of reaching the ultimate goal. It's the winning at the highest level.
From your post-game comments after the Lakers lost to what your teammates were saying about you as far as being disrespectful, it got pretty ugly at the end of your tenure in Houston. Is there any part of you that regrets the way that it ended?
I wasn't disrespectful to anyone. Those guys had just got there in Houston. I've been there for a very long time. I've been through all the ups and downs, with that organization. And I wasn't disrespectful towards anyone. I just made a comment. So there were some things I felt like out of my character, but the ultimate goal was to get somewhere, where I can compete. And here I am in Brooklyn. I have nothing but love and respect for that organization, that city, and everything that they've done for me and my family. And it's not a guarantee that me coming to Brooklyn is, guaranteeing a title. But I think for me, giving myself a chance is very, very important. And you just look at this entire roster and it's built for any style of basketball you want. And then the coaching staff who, knows the game of basketball at a high level. You just add that all together and it's like, that's a legit chance right there. It was a no-brainer for me.
All right, so without talking about this. Okay, so now you got James Harden added to a team with Kyrie Irving, we think, and Kevin Durant. All ball dominant players.
Yeah.
Let's talk about on the court first. How's this going to work?
Well, it's going to have to be some type of sacrifice. Who's going to be able to not have the ball in their hands when they're used to having it in their hands most of the time? And if these players are true to themselves and they say to each other, we want to win a championship, then you're going to have to take the sacrifice, which means we're not going to see all these isolation plays that we're used to seeing from James Harden in Houston. We're not going to see Kyrie dribble the ball 24 seconds until he can get a shot. This is Durant's team, and everything has to go through Durant. And if they can understand that, this team has a great chance. But listen, who doesn't want this trio on the court? Because they have all the ingredients. And one of the main ingredients to win a championship is
It's Durant's team, okay?
That's Durant's team.
On the floor, okay? So now we get to the locker room, and these are some complex personalities that we have, all three of them. How does that work?
Well,
you said Steve Nash has the toughest job in North American pro sports?
Steve Nash has the toughest coaching job in sports because not only does he have to probably redesign this offense, he has to manage egos. He has to make sure everybody's happy. And now the pressure's on.
Yeah.
It's championship or bust in Brooklyn.
And it's his first year.
Hey,
as a coach.
It's his first year. And so that's why I feel like he has the toughest job because you got a guy with no coaching experience, coaching 2 of the top 5 players in the league. Kyrie is arguably top 10. And so there's a lot of pressure there in Brooklyn to win a championship.
If you had to guess right now, I'll put you on the spot, how far do they go?
I believe this team can get to the finals. There's no excuse. You got Durant. Wherever Durant goes, you have finals. You have finals on your mind. And then you add Harden. And you have Kyrie. This team can go to the finals.
All right. If they can keep it together.
They can keep it together and they can sacrifice.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right now.
You got the truth. Coming up on SportsCenter from Los Angeles, more from the NBA after the big Nets trade. Are you feeling Brooklyn as the title favorite? Paul Pierce is. George Sedano has feelings on the subject. Back up the taco truck. Andre Drummond dominates, and in Boston, the bigger the fall, the harder you ball. Plus, the Saints and the Bucks are set for a showdown. Why Mina Kimes thinks that Tampa Bay's chances lie with keeping Tom Brady upright.
Bowl 24 keeping it real with Damian Lillard.
If you can't find the right
Beat the Knicks like a Drummond, I'm telling you. Jared Allen, inactive, he's in town, but does his entrance mean Andre Drummond's eventual exit? He's an unrestricted free agent. Osmond to Drummond there, and then Drummond here. He can punish you when he plays with that determination and that force. That's what Coach Bickerstaff said afterwards about the big man who had 20 and 14 in the first half. The Cavs up a couple. Let's go fourth. Julius Randle. Julius. And that's Drummond right there again. And that's Julius Randle right there. Randle had 28 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. RJ Barrett, he put 20 in, and the Knicks are down 1 with under 2 to play right at the shot clock. And with 109 left, Drummond double teamed, 33 points, 23 rebounds. Cavs win 106-103. Drummond logs his 43rd career game with at least 20 points and 20 rebounds, passing Hakeem Olajuwon for third most 2020 games since the NBA.
Laging pumupunta, di naasahan may sorpresa ka laging dala. Ang saya-saya, ayoko lang pahalata. Sure ko na naman ako basta magkasama ka. Kaso lang wala ka na, pero alam ko na masaya ka na. Sa mundo ko wala nang makakagawa, makakatumbas ng iyong napadama. Salamat sa pag-ibig mo, lagi kang nasa puso't isip ko at inaamin ko na namin miss kita. Na namimiss kita, sa'kin ikaw pa rin ang baby ko. Ang baby ko kahit wala ka na sa piling ko. Piling ko pangakong ipagdadasal pa rin kita. Ipagdadasal pa rin kita. Halos 5 oras na akong nag-aantay sa'yo. Nag-aabang ako sa labas ng bahay nyo. Sipat ng sipat kung sisilip ka ba sa bintana. Magpakita kay parang di yata. Ilang beses ka nang lagi na lang ganyan. Kung iwasan ako'y parang ayaw akong nga diyan. Sa susunod na punta ko'y pagbuksan mo na sana. Kasi kahit anong mangyari ay di ako mawawala ng pag-asa. Ayaw kitang pilitin kung di ka pa handa. Sa susunod na lang. Sa susunod na lang. Ayaw ko na bibitin. Kaya mabuti pang ako'y uuwi na lang. Sa susunod na lang. Ayaw kitang pilitin kung di ka pa handa. Sa susunod na lang. Ikaw pa rin ang baby ko. Sa susunod na lang. Yeah, yeah. Parang NB ang kanyang katawan. Ang sarap mong titigan. Rosas ka ba? Kasi sa spaceship isasakay kita. Parang NB ang kanyang katawan. Ang sarap mong titigan. Rosas ka ba? Kasi sa spaceship isasakay kita. Tayo'y pinagtagpo, ngunit hindi tinadhana. Sadyang mapaglaro itong mundo. Ingatan mo siya. Binaliwala niya ako dahil sa'yo. Nawala na ng saysay ang pagmamahal na kahit tagal ko ring binubuo. Na kahit tagal ko ring hindi sinuko. Binaliwala niya ako dahil sa'yo. Dahil sa'yo. Baka pwede lang kahit isang saglit. Masabi lang na merong pagtingin. Baka pwede lang kahit papansarin. Sa sarili ko'y magsisinungaling. Tayo'y pinagtagpo, ngunit hindi tinadhana. Sadyang mapaglaro itong mundo. Salamat sa pag-ibig mo Lagi kang nasa puso't isip ko at tinaamin kong namimiss kita. Namimiss kita. Sa'kin ikaw pa rin ang baby ko. Ang baby ko kahit wala ka na sa piling ko. Piling ko pangakong ipagdarasal pa rin kita. Ipagdarasal pa rin kita. Tayo'y pinagtagpo, ngunit hindi tinadhana. Sadyang mapaglaro itong mundo. At aalis, magbabalik, at uulitin sabihin na mahalin. At sambitin kahit muli masaktan. At yakapin mo ako kahit hindi na totoo. Maintindihan din naman kita kung sawa ka na, saan ka masaya.
Bakit ganito? Ikaw lang gusto, ngiti mo sapat, masaya na ako. Bakit ganito? Ikaw lang gusto, dalhin kita sa paraiso.
Halos 5 oras na akong nag-aantay sa'yo. Nag-aabang ako sa labas ng bahay niyo.
Ibulong mo nang dapat marinig ng iba. Ay maglagot makikita kanina.
Bakit ang kilitin, di ka ba handa? Sa susunod na lang, sa susunod na lang. Kaya sa pagtayo ko sa umaga ay hanap ko na ngiti mo na nagpasaya kakaiba. Nagbago ng lahat-lahat, salamat at natagpuan kita.
Kanina pa kita tinitingnan, kanina pa kasi ko nang gigigil dyan. Kanina ko ba kasi iniisip na di ako hindi ka titigman.
Huwag mo na lang sanang isipin na katulad ako nila. Ang gusto ko lang naman talaga sa'yo ay mahalin ka, baby.
Nadarang na naman sa'yo nga boy. Bakit ba lagi na kita magkasama sa habang buhay? Pero kailangan muna maghinay-hinay.
Alam ko naman kasalanan ko, o sinayang ko.
Basta sa akin ka sumama na, di na ko maghahanap ng
Huwag
iba.
mong pansinin ang mga nagkatingin sa ating dalawa, sa ating dalawa.
Bakit ganito? Ikaw lang gusto, ngiti mo sapat,
masaya na ako.
Bakit ganito? Ikaw lang gusto, dalhin kita sa paraiso.
Kay ganda ang binibini, ikaw ang gusto ko, walang ibang pinili. Oh, kay ganda ang binibini, ikaw ang gusto ko, walang ibang pinili.
Meron akong tinatago, di ko lang maamin, pagdating kasi sa'yo ako'y mahihain. Pero kahit anong oras mo ako tawagin, darating ako, sobrang lakas mo kasi sa'kin. Ewan ko kung paano ko bibit-bitin yung pagtingin ko, kasi kung hanggang tingin lang ay bitin. Ayoko rin naman kung kimkimin, kasi mukhang hindi ko pa rin sa'yo tayong banggitin. At baka isnabing mo lang at di mo pansinin, bitin kahit na empty virgin ng inumin, yung tapang ay wala pa rin. Saan ko hihiramin, kahit nagasing wala rin kung pagising ko. Kaya pa rin ako na magmahal pa, kasi nasaktan na parang wala na kong ibang gusto kundi kumanta. Kala ko wala na kong pag-asang makalas at piligin, pero sumugal pa rin kasi nandiyan mabla. Kahit sobrang traffic sa kalye, basta ikaw walang natasan, puro abante. Kahit saan pa ang biyahe, umulan man ang grabe, nandiyan ako lagi, ano man ang mangyari. Hatid sundo kita, 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 hatid sundo kita. Medyo matagal na rin tayong hindi nagkita, kaya ngayon alam mo ba na miss na kita. At di ka, dapat pang malungkot, please ngumiti ka. Sa'yo ako ay nananapit na, baby, ako'y pauwi na. Sana hayaan mo ko na ngayon kita masolo, mayakap ka ng todo at umain kang parang loro. Pero kung talagang ayaw mo, edi wag na, para mo na rin pinatunayan na duwag ka. Ba kung iiwanan ka na niya, huwag kang mag-alala kasi marami pang iba. Idaan mo lang sa tawa kasi magpakatanga, hanggang sa masanay ka na, kasi ganyan talaga sila. Baka di mo alam na hindi nabilang sa daliri ang binibining sasaktan ka lang. Kaya iisip ka lang, huwag ka magpakahibang, huwag mong gawing mundo yung alam mo na sarili ko ay hindi ko na maintindihan. Alam ko namang di ko to dapat maramdaman, dahil di mo rin naman kayang suklian ang pagmamahal ko. Magkaibigan lang ang turingan, pero ako'y nasasaktan kahit na walang tayo. Nasasaktan ako kahit na walang tayo, nasasaktan ako kahit na walang tayo. Walang tayo, walang tayo. Sexy lady with the pretty brown eyes, can you be my lifetime partner? Sana pwede ka, pero sa akin palagay hindi ka bagay sa tulad kong simpleng rapper. Piliin mo ko, patunayan mo may taste ka, panalo ka na, tsaka sure ka baby boy na safe ka. Pag sa'kin ka na love, hindi ko na need mag-pedicab. Sakay na sa chikot ka na, dalang na pinahiram ni dad. Wag mo sanang iisipin na papagod na ako. Di ako apurado, pero sa'yo ano ba? Gusto ko lang kasi makasigurado. Sa unang tingin at sa unang kita, masasabi mo agad na pambihira. Kasi iba talaga, grabe ang ganda, binibining pinakamabisa. Iba ang datingan, ibang karaniwan, lalo pag nakita mo ng malapitan. Kasi iba talaga, grabe ang ganda, binibining pinakamabisa.
Natapos na ang lahat, dito pa rin ako. Hetong nakatulala sa mundo, sa mundo. Kung saan na lamang ay nakita mo ang lungkot sa iyong ngiti, isang umagang di ka nabalik. Sana'y malaman mo, hindi sinasadya, kung ang nais ko ay maging malaya. Hindi pwede. Ilang ikaw ang nahihirap ko, pero di pinaghahanap, di na posible. Ilang ikaw ang mababahala, bulong ng nagpapahirap ang pakawalan. Kahit na niloloko mo lang ako, kahit na tumingin ka sa iba, magmahal ka ng iba, magbubulag-bulagan ako. Masakit man ito dito sa puso, parang na aking mahal. Kahirap sabihin, di ako matatakot, mahihiya. Ano man ang sabihin nila, binaliwala niya ako dahil sa'yo, dahil sa'yo. Heto na, heto na. Sabi nga ng iba, kung talagang mahal mo siya ay hahayaan mo, hahayaan mo na mamaalam, hahayaan mo na lumisan. Ako na lang sana ang iyong minahal, ako na lang sana ang iyong ligaya, ako na lang sana hanggang pagtanda, ako na lang sana. Pinaliwala niya ako dahil sa'yo, oh, dahil sa'yo. Ito nang huling awit na iyong maririnig, ito nang huling tingin na dati kang kinikilig, ito nang huling araw ng mga yakap ko't halik. Ito na, ingatan mo siya. ng palihim, meron yung sorpresa. Huwag ka sana maanig, di ako pideya. Habang walang nakatingin, samantalahin natin ang gabi.
Sa'yo lang